You guys should be live. I don't know if they can hear us. I don't know if they can hear us behind the video or not. Can they hear us behind the video?
The video is silent.
Well, I know the video is silent. Oh, they can definitely hear us now.
What's up, guys?
Hey, everybody.
I was just talking about my suspenders. My suspenders.
Aren't you guys excited? The whole crew is back today.
I'm excited.
It's the first time since Tuesday. It's a week
I
since
bet
we've
Steve
actually
was
all
excited.
been together. Because no, Wednesday we were together, but we just weren't in the studio
We haven't had a normal studio day in this week.
since last Tuesday.
Oh, it really has been a week. Wow.
So here we are. You go ahead.
You want me to go ahead? YouTube poll? You want to do the YouTube poll?
All right, YouTube poll today. Very good question. How hard did you go on your 18th to 21st birthday, so your legal drinking age?
Why is that? Why is that important today?
I don't know. Maybe because I just turned 21. So the options are, like a scale of 1 to 5, 0 to 1, 2 to 3, or 4 to 5. How hard did you go? I will share my experience later on in the show.
You obviously go too hard if you can remember your experience to share it.
It was 2 days ago. So
There are some photo and video evidence as well that helps me remember.
are you giving us access to that?
At 107, we're going to have Jim Carafano. And we're getting ready to go in. So we're going to have Jim Carafano at 107, Mailee Smith with the Illinois Policy Institute.
We're going live 4.5 minutes early, or 3 minutes early. So.
We might have missed Fox.
All right.
Okay.
I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
The polls still aren't reflecting necessarily what you're saying.
No.
Do you believe in the polls?
No, let me just say, I said was on the ballot past when people decided to run.
Okay.
And now here they are doing very well in their districts. When you ask about it, here's the way we see it. I'm from Maryland originally. I've been in California a long time. There you go. So you know that it's a horse racing state. And in Maryland, when you're in the lead, which we believe we are, we're in the lead, you're in the stretch, we made the turn, it's 5 weeks from tomorrow is the election, and voting starts even sooner than that. When you're in the lead and you're in the stretch, you whip the lead, and that's what we are doing. We're whipping the lead to ensure a Democratic victory.
Yeah, okay. Nancy Pelosi is whipping something, and she thinks it's good for her. That's what I get from that. Colbert even saying, Speaker Pelosi, those polls are saying one thing, you're saying the other, and she's explaining the process, and she's using the process to justify her position. Ironically, though, it probably wouldn't take me that long to pull up some sound from Nancy Pelosi talking about how the polls are saying such and such when it is to her advantage. This is why I hate polls. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. It's Tuesday, and we are all back together. We are excited to be, all four of us back here. We're in the next segment here, we're going to get Hannah in to talk about her 21st birthday, which was Sunday. She's here. Ryan Wiggins is back from vacation. And today's YouTube live chat poll, how hard did you go on your 18th or 21st birthday? Because I understand there's probably some people listening to the show right now who became of legal drinking age when they were 18. So we want to know, how hard did you go? I wonder if this is a generational thing. Brad, I don't know what you think, if you've heard any stories, but like, did our parents celebrate their legal drinking age birthday the way idiot kids do today?
I am certain that they did.
You think they did?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. It was a rite of passage. And, you know, because, like, at least in my family, it was parents of the kids that were kind of like, all right, we're going to get together or we're going to celebrate your 21st birthday. And
was it a family affair, though?
Yeah, they would throw a big family party for the.
I mean, that's not really what happens as much today, I would think.
No, no, I wouldn't think that happens as much today. But again, I think that they threw down for their birthday and then they want their kid to throw down for theirs.
Well, I can't wait to find out. So we would love to know how hard you went on your birthday. That we're talking legal drinking age. It's, generally speaking, 21st birthday, but there are people who are listening who could legally drink at 18 years old. We want to know how you did. And the scale is 0 to 5. And I only get 4 options. So it's either 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or 5. And that's kind of explanatory. So you can go vote in the YouTube live chat poll and then leave us a comment, and we will highlight some of these stories as we go through the day. Let's save. We'll talk to Hannah in the 12:25 segment. She's outside. She's working, and she seems her usual Hannah self.
She has recovered. She's recovered.
Yes, and we'll celebrate her birthday here in the 2:00 hour as well. When you hear Colbert saying to Nancy Pelosi, "Hey, these polls are not reflecting what you're saying," does that give you pause to think that maybe somehow or another this is going to go the way of the red wave? When you listen to somebody like Colbert bring that up, it makes me think, ooh, why does Colbert want to be on the record as challenging Nancy Pelosi in this way? Because they usually they have no reservation about being all in for the left. When we are looking at the course of the months leading up to the midterm, and the words red wave have been a part of all of the discussion, it's always centered around, will there be a red wave or not? If there's not a red wave, that doesn't necessarily mean that Republicans don't take the House. I mean, I absolutely believe that the Republicans could take the House. I actually kind of think the Republicans could take the Senate, and we wouldn't have the, definitive red wave that folks were talking about. We just need to win the right races. Now, if you were to win 30 seats, 40 seats in the House, we're talking red wave. The issues that we have been facing over the last 6 months, 10 months, 12 months, Biden presidency time, the issues we've been facing have kind of been in flux as to what the top issue is of the day. But it is with certainty that you can say that the economy has always been right there, reachable from the top issue for everybody. So maybe Roe v. Wade is overturned in the Supreme Court, and the issue of that moment is abortion. And if it just so happened that would have happened like a couple days before Election Day, maybe that would have a great impact on it. But those issues seem to kind of settle back down. It is an important issue in every election for the people who are keyed in on being pro-life or pro-abortion. That issue is always near the top for those individuals, but pushing that issue into other voters who normally are going, no, the economy is out of control. I can't sustain these kinds of prices in this type of an economy, or I'm looking to retire in 6 years, and now it looks like it might have to be 8 years. Crime is certainly something that is top of mind for a lot of people. And I think that crime, for those people who live in areas that are ridden with crime and basically ruled by people who choose not to prosecute crime, St. Louis, Chicago being two of those areas, I think that is a top issue, just like abortion is a top issue for the people who consider that a personal issue for them, that crime remains at the top of their voting motivation every day. But the economy is still there. Listen to CNN here.
The crime and abortion, because both of those, their placement on that chart was surprising me. So I was interested, what are people searching for on Google? What is it that comes to their mind? So this is Google searches crime versus abortion, the percentage among those who search for either. Look, around the time that Roe v. Wade was overturned in June, crime was just at 30% of all the searches that people were searching between crime and abortion. Abortion was at 70%. In May, again, abortion higher than crime. In July, it was basically tied. Abortion slightly higher than crime. But look now in September, crime 71% to just 29% for abortion. That is basically back to the pre-Roe v. Wade overturning sort of baseline, where we were back in April, where crime was making up 74% of the searches versus abortion at just 26%.
So who peaks at the right time? I mean, if you're a baseball fan, as I am, you watch teams go into the postseason. I was listening to Brad Thompson, I think, was talking about this. When you're watching, if you're paying attention to baseball right now, and you're watching the Braves and the Mets go back and forth in the East, and you're thinking about the potential of having to play in that wild card game, or that work into a scenario where you're going to have to play 3 games in the new wild card format that you have to win 2 of 3 in order to advance. The other one of those 2 will have the second best record and will wait, correct?
Yeah.
So we, as the St. Louis Cardinals, will have to play in a wild card game against the Padres?
No.
Or do we not know yet?
Well, I don't think we know yet.
We don't know yet. It depends on...
Right.
And either the Braves or the Mets, which it's most likely going to be the Mets.
Right.
Is that determined? That's determined.
That hasn't.
They're all in.
They're all in. We just don't know if the Braves are going to win the division or if the Mets are going to win. The Braves either have to win or the Mets have to lose. It's the magic number for the Braves is 1. So as soon as one of them loses or wins,
that was after they played in this most recent series. So,
yep.
And did they have yesterday off?
The Braves did. The Mets didn't. Mets won. Braves didn't play.
That's fun. I found this interesting, this comment that Brad Thompson was making on the TV broadcast of the Cardinals game, thinking about how the Cardinals are going to have some time to potentially rest some players because they locked up their position in the playoffs. It wasn't going to change based on what happened in these last 3 games against the Pirates. And when you are somebody who has to fight every last second and you're always on the bubble and you're always thinking, I got to give everything here. I can't save anything because if I save it and I don't get to use it, then I might never get to use it if we don't win. He said every ball club has to do for themselves what they need to do to mentally prepare themselves to know that they're in the best situation. So maybe it's like, no, we got momentum. Yeah, we're playing these games. Yeah, we're firing all of our shots and we're taking all of our shots and we're going into the postseason and we don't really get the rest necessarily for our top players. But we're out there. We've got the momentum on our side. That's what you say if that's your situation. If you're the Cardinals, if you're the Dodgers, you say, oh, this is fantastic. We're going to be rested up. Everybody else is going to have to go play and use their closers and their bullpens, and they're going to come in and they're going to, whenever that team wins the wild card and they come to play us, it's going to be a situation where they're going to have used their guys and we're going to be rested. And if you're the team going in to play the Dodgers, you're saying, oh, but they haven't been playing for a while. They might be a little... It's like you just make the most of whatever your situation is and present that to people because that's the mental mindset you need to be in. That's what Nancy Pelosi is doing to Colbert. She's I don't know, in horse racing terms, the universal language. What is that? I'm like following along. I'm like, gosh, I know politics better than horse racing. I wish he would have just stuck to actually talking about elections and political campaigns. Working hard to make sure that everybody knows that the Democrats feel good about where they are right now. No, they don't. And the Republicans shouldn't feel good about it either. You got to work hard to the last minute and wait and see what happens. And then people like you who are listening right now, and I know you got your eyebrows raised, if you want to make sure that your polling place is supervised, then figure out how to be a part of being a poll watcher. Figure out how to be in a position to be a part of the solution of the problem that you feel exists perpetually. Don't complain about it and not step in and try to be a part of the solution. It's clear, like I was saying, that regardless of whatever the crime, abortion statistics, it's weird to me that if crime is high, that's bad for the Democrats and good for the Republicans. And if abortion is high, that's good for the Democrats and bad for the Republicans. That in and of itself tells me which side of the aisle I want to be on.
Oh, absolutely.
Isn't that kind of like when you put it in those terms, I can't in my mind say, well, I can see how the Democrats are. I can see what they're doing here. This makes sense to me. It does not. It's if crime is getting out of hand right now, especially in places where Democrats have the control and the power, St. Louis, Chicago, many of the main cities in our country. If crime is high, it's not good for the Democrats. But people still care about the economy.
Republicans enjoy a 4-point advantage among likely voters, generic ballot, 49 to 45. A tighter screen shows it +7, 51 to 44. And the economy is the number one issue.
Yes, it is.
Cost of living, jobs, climate change, abortion. So added up, it's 40%, if my math is right, on the economy, 6% on climate change, 5% on abortion.
So the economy, of course, Larry Kudlow talking right there, is going to remain a key issue. That doesn't mean that something won't come up in between now and when the election happens that makes one of these other issues a key issue. I would expect that. Mark it down, 12/18, Tuesday, October 4th. Abortion is the situation that needs to be in the main focus and the spotlight in order for Democrats to get the vote bump from it. Pay attention to the news cycle, folks, especially what comes from the left-leaning media. You're going to have some big story that's going to come out here, something from the Supreme Court, something that has to do with making abortion a main story in the headlines, and it's probably going to happen around Halloween. That's just the way these things go. It's ridiculous, but it's just the nature of the business. Let's listen to Kellyanne Conway on this.
What's happening with Hispanic voters? Well, they're realigning toward the Republican Party, obviously because of rising cost and rising crime. But they've also always been and continue to be education voters. Hispanics tend to have school-aged children in the home, in public school system. They saw screen time as school time. They found out what these kids were learning and not learning in the schools. And they feel that the kids are suffering from lost learning and a lot of other deficits not of their own making.
We're not even talking about the issue that got a Republican elected in Virginia, which is parents and their rights to be the key decider on how their children are educated. You have a public education system that has to have standards and has to meet specific needs of these kids. Ironically, how come it's never about their math scores and their science scores and their reading scores? Because they're not great. We're spending so much time in our education system talking about a host of issues that don't actually make our kids smarter. They make our kids maybe more socially, this is generous, socially aware. But in the version of social awareness that has an absolute 100% political lean to it. That's the only reason, we were talking about this yesterday, Brad, about sex education in the classroom. And your question is, why do they need my kids to know this? Why is it that this is something that you feel is so important that you're sidestepping the parental right to choose when and where and how my kid learns this? Why is this so important to you? The only answer is politics. And it's getting worse and worse. Here's more.
The other thing that doesn't go covered enough, in my view, is that you've got so many Democrats now openly hostile toward religion. And it doesn't even matter what your religion is. Right. They're just hostile toward it. And they don't say thoughts and prayers anymore. They can't do that. They rip mother, father, brother, sister out of the government documents. So they'll certainly rip them out of the communities and out of our households.
So much of what Kellyanne Conway here is talking about is really the straight lunacy of, it's not even the Democrat Party, but the Democrat Party, they are the supporters of it. There is a woke mentality that does exactly what the Democrat Party uses to succeed in elections, which is pull on heartstrings. They want you to understand that the I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay mentality that makes people feel good. And I am politically kind of cool with that. That is a more libertarian version of what used to be involved in politics. That's an okay mentality for me, but they don't do it that way. It's not I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay. It's I'm okay, you're all okay. The Republicans are Hitler, Nazis. That's really the way that this has to go, because it's not actually about acknowledging that diversity, people who come from different walks of life, people who choose to live different lifestyles, it's not about upholding people for choosing to be different. Because if it were, then you as a Republican who's minding your own freaking business would be considered a lifestyle. LGBTQIA+R. Add Republicans into the alternative lifestyles, into that acronym that is used to say that these are the type of people who are marginalized and these are the type of people who are attacked for being who they are. And here's the irony of it. There are LGBTQIA plus people who are Republicans. To suggest that all of those people are Democrats is to make them a monolith, which is the exact thing that making sure that you know the entire acronym as you go through the whole thing is to say that these are different people who have different lifestyle choices than you do, that live a different life path and have different goals than you do. They see the world differently. They have different perspectives, different experiences, different opportunities and lack of opportunity in front of them. But we want to support this group because we support their right to be different than what is considered normal. You're not even supposed to say normal anymore. Why is it that with an entire industry that is directed towards supporting people's choice of lifestyle or feeling of, if I don't even know that is the idea of born this way still something that we talk? I mean, Lady Gaga, who is an LGBT icon, is that even something that you can say anymore? Because if you were born a certain way, now you're encouraged to change it if you feel like you want to change it. So I don't even know I don't even know what words to say. And I'm saying this in a way that's trying to be as respectful to a community that probably, on the whole, doesn't support the beliefs that I have politically. That's fine. I really don't mind how you choose to live your life, but you don't get to take the lifestyle that I choose, which is to be somebody who, I didn't choose this, I'm white, I'm female. That's who I am. I'm Christian. I'm conservative. I vote Republican. I voted for Trump twice. If he runs again and he's the nominee, I'll vote for Trump again. These are my lifestyle choices. This is who I am. And handing over the ideology that we're all supposed to follow and get in lockstep with, and there's only one kind of way that is okay to be in this country, is what the progressives in the liberal Democratic Party set out to do originally, and now they have become what they hate. They've become discriminatory. They've become segregationists. They are the people who look at other people and see on the surface whatever it is they see, and then they know something about those people. That's a bigoted way to go through the world. You cannot see somebody and make a surface judgment about that person and understand them. You have to get to know them. And that's complicated. And that takes time. And if you dig a little deeper into somebody else who on the surface, as a suburban female mother, I'm supposed to only vote with my feelings because the Democratic Party wants me to remain too uninformed to dig into who's making my family less safe. Who's making it harder to put food on the table and diapers on my baby's bottom? Who's making it harder for me to work in an industry, to be a full-time working woman, to be out there in the world, earning money from my family like an empowered woman and taking more and more money out of my paycheck so I cannot provide for myself and my family? Who's doing that? Bottom line, Democrats, every time. And that's the problem. Monoliths belong to the Democratic Party. Republicans, they're up for whatever. They just want freedom, they want liberty, and they want the government to get the heck out of the way. It's that simple. Let's take a quick break. Hannah's going to be in studio with us here. When we come back, we'll get Ryan in here as well, and we'll talk a little bit about the 21st birthday celebration. She's back and better than ever and a little bit older. Now we get to tell her she's in her 20s, just like we always like to remind Ryan he's in his 40s. We're just hanging out, Brad, you and me, in our mid-30s.
Yeah.
See how I bend the rules to whatever's good for me?
We're just in our 30s.
I'm just a Democrat now. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. Text Red Cross to 90999 to give $10 to American Red Cross Disaster Relief, which helps people affected by disasters such as Hurricane Ian. Message and data rates may apply, or go to 971talk.com for additional ways you can help.
Tonight's the night. I cannot wait to meet so many of you. I know that the room is almost full, but not quite sure, and not quite full. And I've had some people message me, Annie, what's that event that you're going to be at on Tuesday night? Well, let me tell you about it. It's the Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's where you get to go to a free event, listen to Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw talk for just like 45 minutes or so, maybe not even, about how you can make sure that your retirement is going to be worry-free. Now, this is a very important thing at a time like this where the economy is the number one concern for a lot of people. If retirement is right around the corner, you want to make sure that you have put your retirement into good hands. He's never had a client lose a penny. Become one of those clients. You can check it out, though, tonight for free. And I will be there starting at 6 o'clock. The event starts at 6:30. So if you don't want to miss any of the event at 6:30, I get there at about 6 and try to meet as many of you as I can between 6 and 6:30 so that we can say hi. You got to reserve your spot, though. Here's what you got to do. Call 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494 and reserve your spot today. Can't wait to see you all. It's at the Frontenac Hilton starting at 6:30 p.m., retirementkey.com.
CertaPro painters have powers far beyond those of ordinary painters. For example, they have the power of reliability, the power of doing it right, and the power of fresh color. And this is a great time to spruce up the interior of your home with a fresh coat of paint, and CertaPro can help. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. For your home or business, CertaPro can knock out a great painting project for you. CertaPro painters, the power of pro. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro painters, proven and trusted experts in painting.
If you're like most Americans, you're pretty much in disbelief with what's going on in the world. As we all know, global problems are having local consequences. Too many of them. And if the peanut butter really hits the fan, are you ready? Grocery store supply chains are only as strong as their weakest link. Don't wait for them to break. Now's the time to secure emergency food for everyone in your family. My Patriot Supply is America's largest preparedness company. Our specially packaged and delicious food stays fresh for up to 25 years in storage. It'll be there when you need it. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and pick up several emergency food kits. There are a dozen different sizes that average over 2,000 calories per day. Our food kits will ship quickly and discreetly to your door. Having food storage in your home beats government food lines hands down. Go to mypatriotsupply.com today and prepare for what's coming. mypatriotsupply.com.
10-year-old George Haruza and his parents, with only what they could carry in a suitcase, made a daring escape from behind the Iron Curtain of communism. George Haruza and his family risked their lives fleeing communist oppression to secure the freedom and promise of America. George Haruza quickly learned English, studied hard, and worked harder. Overcoming every hurdle in his way, George Haruza is now a world-renowned surgeon, educator, and physician leader.
So I do believe in a limited government. Governments should provide for the people who are really in need, encourage everybody else to rise up to their potential, and then mostly get out of the way.
Now, George Haruza wants to bring his record of getting good things done to the state Senate. And George Haruza understands the mission. George Haruza for State Senate, a record of getting good things done. Paid for by Haruza for Missouri.
Hi, my name is Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair. In honor of our newest location in Cottleville, for any new customers, simply come into any of our 6 locations and ask us to pay the first $50, and we will. That's right. That means brakes, suspension, alignments, air conditioning, even our auto body work. Please come see our team or visit us at CompleteAB.com. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Never made it as a wise man. I couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. Tired of living like a blind man. I'm sick aside without a sense of feeling. And this is how you remind me.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
It's not like you to say sorry.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy Tuesday. It's the whole gang back in the studio here. Last time we were all together was the diaper bash or diaper drive. That was pretty awesome.
That was a great day.
Diaper bash. That's what we're calling it now because it went really well.
That was, yeah. We won't tell you what we were going to call it if it went poorly. So thank you to everybody who participated in that. We had Princess Storm in here. Was it yesterday at about 12:45?
Yep.
So we got to hear Princess Storm talk about. She said 65,000 diapers total. I think.
Wow. Oh, I didn't hear that whole number.
Isn't that what she said? I think that was the number that she gave. And you guys were such a huge part of that. I think we raised maybe over 35,000 diapers.
Yeah, it was roughly half of that.
21,000 from Heroes Care.
Yeah.
Alone, which made us look great.
Yeah, I mean, right out of the gate.
HeroesCare.org. Thank you.
Right at the beginning of the show, too.
Yeah, it just
perfect timing.
Like, after that, we were like, okay, we're good. But the pile of diapers, too. Like, we had people come up and say, like, I don't have this much, but here's just a couple boxes of diapers or packages of diapers. That pile was huge. It just shows how everybody participating in increments made a gigantic difference for people in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm. That's what's neat. Somebody pulling up. Not only you have the truckload, but then you have so many people pulling up with one box or one bag or walking into Ruler and getting one bag if they could, because they kept having to bring out more at Ruler because so many of you came out. So thanks.
Yeah, one of the really cool things is I think that there were people that were just showing up to grab a few items from Ruler, and they said, well
that too, yeah.
Because I was in line behind somebody, and they were like, are there any more diapers at all? And the guy's like, no, they bought us all out. And she's like, I was going to buy some and drop them off at this drive. And she had to leave, and she wasn't able to. Because
I was told that they restocked. When we were at the event, I was told they restocked 4 times.
Yep. 4 times.
Storm said yesterday 3 times. So at least 3 to 4 times they had to completely restock. We had people going to the Walgreens across the street and buying them. And I am so happy about it and proud of everybody who participated in that. I'm trying to do more things. So stand by, because we're going to try to do even more things to help people locally. I love it. And it's what we preach as conservatives, but it's what we preach on this show as well, to suggest that, how often is it that conservatives, it always happens in abortion, you just want the babies to be born and then you don't care about them. Well, that's a false lie. And I could sit here and argue with you to prove that I do care about the babies after they're born, but that's not actually the argument about abortion. The argument about abortion is whether that baby has the right to live. And somehow or another, people get to insert themselves in that conversation and make it a personal attack on me. And I'm like, so let's just, for the sake of argument, suggest that I don't care at all what happens to that baby after that baby is born. Should we kill it?
Yeah, different argument. Completely different argument still.
Like, if I completely concede to you that I truly don't, as you're suggesting, care about this baby once it's born, should we kill that baby? And if you're there to say, yeah, then say it out loud, because that's what the conversation really is about. It's not about me.
Yeah, the implication there is that if Annie doesn't care about this baby's life, then that baby isn't worth having. It's
not
like
that powerful.
Yeah, it's like this baby's better. I mean, seriously, the baby's better off dead if Annie doesn't care about it after it's born.
Unbelievable.
What your argument is.
Also, that argument that was pervasive for at least a month or so after Roe. Every person on the left, far left anyway, was saying that, and it is so far from the truth, and everybody knows it. But they don't have the media platform that maybe we do, or certainly the left does. And so many people who showed up that day on Wednesday were saying, please get this out there, because these are people who are doing work all the time to help adopt, or they're doing work with ministries for babies. And they're so bothered by that line because it flies in the face of their life's work. So it's so far from the truth. And so I'm so glad that so many people showed up just to say, look, we don't believe that's true, and it's not.
This is why I want to do more of this, because the thing that I heard from so many people repeatedly, and it was hard for me to talk to everybody. And I know there are people who came out that I didn't get to talk to because I was on the air. And so much so that was it the last segment? I was like, you guys just start them and talk to these people. I had so many people tell me, thank you for doing this. This was so easy. So you got to participate in something. I said yesterday it was $10 and 30 minutes. Like it didn't even have to be $10. It didn't even have to be 30 minutes to participate, to do something. And I want to give you more opportunities to do that. So we will. So stay tuned. Sunday was Hannah's 21st birthday. And today's YouTube live chat poll, how hard did you go on your 18th/21st birthday? So whatever your legal drinking age birthday was, how hard did you go? 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or 5? I'm going to let Hannah answer this question now, and we're going to feature some of your reactions in the YouTube live chat comments throughout the course of the show. But Hannah, happy birthday.
Thank you.
How did Sunday go? 21 is a little bit different than celebrating those other birthdays.
Very, very different. It was an amazing day. I have the best family and friends, and I got so many birthday wishes from the listeners, which just totally warmed my heart. It was a great day. I would say for the YouTube poll question, I would say 3 to 4 is
Let's go with 4.
maybe 4.5.
From the rumors we've heard, it was more on the 4 side of the 3. Maybe even on the 4.5 side of the 4.
Maybe 4.5 would be a good choice for me.
Let's go with 5.
I didn't choose 5 because I remember the day.
Yeah.
So
I think people are like, well, what do you mean by 0 and 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 and 5? Well, this is kind of it.
Yeah. I have.
If you don't know, then you're probably a 5.
I have memories of the whole day, and so I would say that makes me a 4. But I also had a few drinks. I think it was 12.
Drinks or beers?
Drinks.
Just drinks.
All together, okay.
My first ever drink that I got was a strawberry daiquiri.
Good choice.
Sweet.
Great to load up on the
Sweet.
really syrupy sugar right before you start putting the shots in there.
And my first shot was a pineapple upside down shot, and I will never drink that again.
Well, G-Whip says, Hannah, you don't look a day over 20. And Chris asked Hannah, anything you would never drink again?
Pineapple upside down shot. And also I
don't know what that is. Is that like pineapple rum?
I don't know.
It's awful.
Yeah,
what you're saying.
It's awful.
That's what it is.
It's awful, and
it's hard to drink because it's upside down, so the drink comes right out of the cup the minute they give it to you.
You got to like have your head
face.
below the table and just like pull it off and into your face.
That's probably what I ended up doing.
She loved the taste.
You said you remembered.
It was just hard to drink.
Okay, I mostly remember. See, I thought I had a great memory, and then Parker,
Then I started drinking.
I was like, I'm really glad I made it to the bathroom all the way by myself. And Parker was like, I walked you to the bathroom. I was like, oh, well.
Also, I made it to the bathroom by myself is something that a toddler says.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny all the time at home. I'm talking about Molly. I'm like, she's like a little drunk person. It is the same. She is nearing 16 months old. It's the same. She runs full speed into things.
Just like Hannah.
She gets really excited and laughs a lot, and then all of a sudden she's yelling at you and crying. It's the same. Sometimes she pees her pants. Sometimes it's worse than that. And I gotta help her take care of her business.
Yeah. You got to put a helmet on a baby. You got to put a helmet on Hannah when you go out for the night.
Yeah, everything I just said there is what Hannah did on Sunday.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was a great day, and I would give myself on the YouTube poll the option 3 to 4, leaning 4.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Chris says, first shot I had was a prairie fire. Never again.
What is that?
I don't know. Chris, how old are you now? I need to gauge when you were drinking and what beverage that might have been. Is that Fireball? It sounds like it could be fire.
I wouldn't
know. Let's talk a little bit more in the 2 o'clock hour about our stories. Ryan, you're 41?
Yes.
Brad, you're 39?
39.
I'm 38. So it has been a minute since we were... I won't scoop any stories. Maybe one of us is a heavy drinker. Maybe not. We'll talk about that in the 2 o'clock hour. But we are glad that you were safe. You were surrounded by family and people who you love and love you, and had a great day.
It was a great day.
We're glad that you're back. I personally don't ever recommend overdoing it, but the 21st birthday, sometimes I'll tell you my story in the 2 o'clock hour.
Oh, all right.
We'll see how that went. Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll, and we do want to read these. I really am hoping all the days that I ask you for comments on the poll, I want to know your story.
Yes.
Right now. And tell us in your comments, if you're going to tell us your story, tell us when you turned, like what year you turned legal drinking age, if you don't mind sharing that with us.
Tell us all about it. We want to know everything.
So that we can share some of your great stories, and Hannah will be reading those and flagging them, and we'll talk about them in the 2 o'clock hour when we have a little more festivities for Hannah.
Yes, sounds good.
All right, let's take a quick break. Oops, we're going to come back.
Whoop, been drinking.
Brad, don't turn my microphone off. That was
Don't blame that on me.
That was totally my fault. Let's do Wiggins America when we come back. You guys remember my story about being on the airplane, flying to Florida, and it was like 2018, and the lady in front of me vomited, and it ricocheted off the chair in front of her into my mouth? Ryan says he's got a story that's worse than that from his weekend, and he's going to tell it to us in Wiggins America. I'm pretty sure that my story is grosser just because it happened to me, but like objectively speaking, we'll figure that out.
Yeah,
when we come
you
back.
be the judge.
All right. We'll take a quick break here. Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Leave a comment. Wiggins America in a minute. Don't go away.
What I really am. This is how you remind me of what I really am.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow.
This time I'm mistaken for handing you a heart worth breaking, and I've been wrong. I've been down into the bottom of every bottle. These 5 words in my head scream out, we haven't fun yet.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Mark Walter is my guest. I'm still surprised it's as close as it is in Texas.
Yeah, I think it'll separate when we go to the polls in Texas. Beto O'Rourke, Stacey Abrams, these people are living, breathing cartoon characters, and it will manifest itself at the polls.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you may be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to GetRefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com. That's GetRefunds.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet, and the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed. I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. Cowboy boots, running shoes, walking shoes, flat shoes, heels. Makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborn.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AA, MCO.
At One Cardinal Way, you don't pay while the Cardinals play. In celebration of the Redbirds' quest for their 12th World Series title, One Cardinal Way is offering free rent to new residents for as long as the Cardinals are playing in the 2022 postseason. One Cardinal Way offers luxury apartment living with 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and penthouse apartment homes that boast floor-to-ceiling windows, chef-inspired kitchens, top-of-the-line appliances, luxury finishes, and breathtaking views of downtown St. Louis, the Gateway Arch, and Busch Stadium. Visit onecardinalway.com for details.
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com and join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, healthfromwithinstl.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable Traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
If you love somebody, better tell them why they're here, 'cause they just may run away from you.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're happy that you are here. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you're streaming us on the Odyssey app, you can take us with you anywhere you go. AUDACY is where you find us on the App Store or wherever you get your apps from. Follow 97.1 FM Talk, and from noon to 3, you can listen to the Annie Frey Show. You can even rewind on the app up to 24 hours from the time you access it. Apparently, Ryan Wiggins has a pretty awful story from being on the airplane.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins!
How bad is it?
I flew back from Atlanta yesterday morning, and this
Were you
story,
always planning on flying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought you were driving.
Nope. And so this story, I think, rivals yours.
Okay.
I would say it's pretty close to even, but you guys can decide whether
Should
you think
I
it's
tell
actually
my
grosser.
story in the 45-second version
I think you should.
first?
I think you
'Cause
should.
Not everybody knows the story.
Yeah, please.
Fortunate
do.
if you don't. Sorry if you're about to learn it. In 2018, we were flying to Florida. It was the first time our family went to Disney World. And it was a 6 a.m. flight, and we were sitting towards the front of the airplane. And the woman, we were probably 25 minutes into the flight. I think we were still ascending. And the woman in front of me got sick and projectile vomited into the seat in front of her so aggressively that it deflected off the seat in front of her, over her head. I was sitting behind her, onto my leg, onto my daughter's leg, onto the window next to me, and in my mouth.
Oh.
And you knew it was in your mouth. How?
Because it was fizzy, and it was part of the vomit.
Oh, fizzy.
I never heard the fizzy part.
It's the worst part. That's
She
how,
has the-
you asked, how did I know?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I knew.
She has the 1,000-yard stare. You can't see it on radio, but when she's like, it was fizzy, it's the 1,000-yard stare. She's not looking at Ryan. She's looking past him, off into the distance.
It's PTSD.
FR from YouTube says, hey, lunchtime here.
Well, that's why we're doing it
was
now.
lunchtime there, too, only I was having her lunch. It was disgusting.
Mhm. In the same way that a dog might have
Man,
lunch.
that sounded like a canned groan. Clip that for me. I'm going to use that again.
Oh.
All right, what you got?
All right. Yesterday.
Did she throw up on you, too?
No.
Okay.
No, she did not. Yesterday, but I was thinking about you when this happened because I thought, is this as bad? Because it feels as bad. Yesterday morning, flying back, me and my friend Ty, who, when I do Fountains Family Dentistry Lives, that's Ty. Yeah, that's how good of friends I am with him. We went to Oktoberfest down.
Is this something gross he did? Because if
No,
he's
no.
your client, you shouldn't tell the story.
No.
This is an I got a friend who moment.
It reflects upon Ty a bit, but has nothing really to do with Ty. But it was a pretty full flight. And so what do you do when you have two people in three seats? One of you sits in the window, the other one sits in the row. You hope for the best. And if somebody does say, hey, I got to sit there, he's probably going to move over. They're going to sit on the row so we could sit next to each other. We get all the way through boarding. Nobody sits down between us. We were surprised because it was a really full flight. So we're like, oh, yes, this is great. He puts on his headphones. He's a little bit nervous flyer, so he's going to watch a movie the whole flight, 2.5-hour flight. We're set to go. I'm just going to read a book, ready to go. We get on the runway. I mean, we're ready. We're taking off. A girl about 3 rows behind us goes, oh, fine then. I'm done. I'm just done.
It was Hannah.
You're being a real... And then a couple of choice words. And so she gets up, without even asking, walks about 3 rows up, plops down right between us.
Oh, no.
Didn't even ask us to move over or anything. Sits down between us. You guys look like you're a little bit nicer than that guy. I know for sure you're nicer than him because he wouldn't say anything.
But she was drunk, so, judgment call.
Yeah, she was a little drunk, had not gone to sleep all night, had been flying from way out somewhere in the Pacific. I think she was on vacation at Hawaii or something.
At Hawaii.
Are you sure you were?
Wow. Hey, Brad, have you ever been at Hawaii?
I've been at Hawaii.
Yeah, I haven't.
Okay. So, because I'm known for my speaking skills, I began to speak to her.
Yeah.
And ask her.
I'm a professional communicator. I think I can handle this.
So, Ty is still trying to watch a movie. He's about 5 minutes into a movie now. She sits down and starts explaining why she now has sat down between us. He is trying hard to communicate to her, I just want to watch a movie. I don't want to have any problems. I, however, do not have headphones on, so she begins talking to me. She starts talking at that moment, continues to talk for 2.5 hours, does not stop for the entire flight. Most of what she's saying, I half understand. But she did communicate.
You should have asked her if she would be willing to participate in an interview for the radio and recorded it. And if she would have, then we could have listened to it.
I did not want her to know that I was on the radio because then I thought there was a possibility that she would stop talking at some point. So I tried to give her as little information as I could.
Did you tell her you were a Trump supporter?
Oh, that would have been
I should have tried that.
She might have enjoyed
Donald
that.
Trump, right?
Yeah. No, it was like...
You need to have a MAGA
like,
hat
where are you
in your
coming
carry-on
from?
at all times, just in case. And you
Yeah.
pull it out and be like, what would you like to talk about?
It was the exact opposite. It was just as little information. Oh, maybe you'll
And then
actually
she
quiet
pulls
down.
out her MAGA hat.
I was actually hoping that she might pass out because she was right on the verge a couple times.
Yeah.
She did not pass out. She laid her blanket kind of on both of us and was sprawling out a little bit. And we're like, oh, maybe she's going to pass out. Nope, she did not. So anyway, coming back down, I have terrible, my ears won't pop easily. So I'm always trying to swallow and yawn and stuff. And she saw me. And I was like, yeah, we're coming back down. This is at the end of the flight. And I'm starting to really be headache pain because my ears won't pop. And they never do.
Or because of her.
Either way, because they definitely were both there. So she has, again, just continuing to talk. She goes, oh, have you tried, like, holding your nose like this and then doing just a little baby push? Like, and I'm like,
I'm disgusted.
Yes, I have tried that. And she's like, oh, okay. Because what you do is you just squeeze your nose a little bit. And you push just like a little baby push, though, just a little bit. You don't want to push all the way or you really hurt yourself. And I'm like, yep, I tried that. So she looks over to Ty, starts talking to him again for no reason, turns back to me. Oh, have you tried doing where you push your nose and you push a little baby push again? Telling me the same story like 4 times. So at one point, I look like I'm in pain. She looks back at me and goes to, she gets ready to tell me the same story again. The little grab your nose baby push. But instead of telling me, she reaches over to pinch my nose for me. That sticks accidentally.
No!
Sticks both of her fingers up my nose. Stops and goes, and pulls them back out with snot.
Were people watching this evolve over the...
I don't know what's going on behind me at all.
I cannot stand being on an airplane and having like the loud talker that's 2 rows behind.
She's that.
And so like I would be aware of this situation if she was the loud talker.
Here's the thing. I had such bad sinus pressure. I can't hear anything beyond what she's doing right in my ear.
Oh, my gosh.
So she pulls her fingers out of my nose.
Yeah.
Then with snot or whatever was in my nose, pinches my nose and goes, okay, now try it. And I'm going, oh, you're doing this. And then she offered to give me a drink of her drink so that I could chew an ice cube to see if that would help with my sinus pressure, which I did not do.
That is disgusting.
Right? Does it rival yours?
I'm going to tell you right now that the woman who vomited in my mouth, I would have rather had her fingers in my nose. Without question.
All right.
But still, way weirder.
Pretty weird.
Way more bizarre. Mine had a perfectly legitimate explanation as to how that happened. Yours, that'll never happen to you again.
Fully illegitimate.
Oh, my gosh. Let's talk to Jim Carafano about that story when we come back.
Why are some people afraid to enjoy their retirement? And why are some people so worried about spending money during their golden years? Maybe it's because they're afraid of running out of money. Maybe they're afraid of depleting their nest egg, either through spending too much or through investment strategies that could result in losses. Hi, my name is Ken Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. Do you have a fear of depleting your savings and running out of money too soon? Let me help put your mind at ease. I can help you create an optimal retirement income distribution strategy that helps to maximize income from your retirement savings and eliminate your fear of running out of money. Call 314-328-6000 today and schedule your complimentary retirement roadmap review with our team. That's 314-328-6000. Again, that's 314-328-6000.
Heisey Advisory Group provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
You know that guy I was just talking about, Dr. Ty Parker, from that story? Yeah, he actually is a really good dentist, and you can give him a call. You can tell him the story I just told, and then he'll know exactly where you came from. You came from 97.1 FM Talk. That'll be fun. So go to fountainsfamilydentistry.com. That's where you can set an appointment to go meet with Dr. Ty Parker yourself and hear all kinds of crazy stories about him and me. He'll gladly tell you some, I'm sure. He's in Fairview Heights, Illinois, and I always say, very, very friendly staff. Ty is a very friendly guy, and he surrounds himself with like-minded people. So if you have kids, we have our appointment coming up next week. Our kids love going to see it, not just because they know Ty, but everybody else there they don't really know, and they still love them because they're so nice. So if you're looking for a great place to go that you are going to enjoy your experience, you will really enjoy that experience now, I promise. Go to Fountains Family Dentistry, again, in Fairview Heights, Illinois, right off of Highway 64. Easy to get to from no matter where you are. FountainsFamilyDentistry.com.
KFTK FM Florissant.
Driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group.
97.1 FM Talk.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Parts of Florida still flooded. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Nearly a week after Hurricane Ian made landfall in southwest Florida, some areas remain underwater.
It's anywhere from 4 to 8 feet in some places. So just getting food to people who are isolated, is a real challenge. And a lot of those people have lost their homes, seen their neighbors lose their homes, and many of whom we've spoken to are really traumatized.
Fox's Steve Harrigan in Arcadia, north of Fort Myers. Statewide, they're still working on power outages and search and recovery efforts. President Biden will visit the state tomorrow, and the White House just confirming he will meet with Republican Governor Ron DeSantis. The president holding his latest call with Ukraine's leader today, reiterating U.S. support with another security package and pledging again never to recognize Russia's annexation of Ukrainian territory. Rainbow-colored fentanyl found hidden in a Lego box in New York City. About 15,000 pills seized as part of an ongoing trafficking investigation with one person arrested. Bridget Brennan is the city's special narcotics prosecutor.
We believe it is critically important to educate the public about this new form that fentanyl is taking. We've heard about it across the country, and yes, we know it's here in New York.
She says the colors may be an effort to market fentanyl as a party drug, which has been done in the past with ecstasy.
This is every parent's worst nightmare, especially in the month of October,
as Halloween fast approaches.
DEA Special Agent in Charge Frank Tarantino, 36 million doses have been seized nationwide as part of a one pill can kill campaign. Tesla CEO Elon Musk reportedly going back to his original offer to buy Twitter at more than $54 a share. Sources telling Bloomberg News he sent a letter. Twitter is suing Musk for trying to back out of that deal, with a trial set to begin less than 2 weeks from now. America is listening to Fox News.
Come on, we're going to be late to the cookout.
I was just packing up my famous mac and cheese.
I hope you packed the Pepto, too.
Huh?
Pepto-Bismol provides fast relief from heartburn and indigestion. You know, that uncomfortable feeling after you eat too much. And after the deviled eggs, baked beans, and barbecue ribs, you're going to need it.
Barbecue ribs? I should probably pack an extra shirt, too.
Good call.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto-Bismol. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
What did 9 out of 10 people who died from COVID have in common?
They were 50 or older.
And if you have a condition like heart disease or diabetes, your risk is even higher.
COVID vaccines lower the risk of death.
Get your updated vaccine now. It could save your life.
We can do this. Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's all about sunshine and dry conditions on this Tuesday afternoon. Just gorgeous out there. Sunny and 75 tonight. Clear skies 48. Wednesday, partly sunny. A little bit warmer, but still gorgeous. 78. Thursday, partly sunny. Maybe a sprinkle, but tough to find. 78. How about a nice change on Friday? Northwest winds, partly sunny. 59. 60 for the high temperature. That's it on Friday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Stay connected to everything happening in the world, the country, and the community.
The badge has a QR code that takes you to a website that has extremely inappropriate information. And as a parent, that crosses the line.
But frankly, your vote is the only thing that can stop
your home for conservative talk.
You hate cops just because of cops? The next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead.
This is 97.1 FM Talk.
The med spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the med spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
Despite what some of our politicians say, we all know inflation is on the rise. Hello, I'm Kathleen Cutis, and if you have ever considered a pre-planned funeral, now is the time to visit Cutis Funeral Home. Your specific prepaid funeral has a locked-in price that will never increase due to rising inflation. Take the worry off your family and have the peace of mind when making a pre-arrangement with Cutis. Cutis Funeral Home. Affordability with dignity since 1910.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues. 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing.
After Halloween, your used jack-o'-lantern and other gourds are great additions to any compost pile. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Mark Cox here. You've heard me talk about my friends at Whiskey Dickerson Small Batch Outfitters, whiskeydickerson.com. They design and produce a line of Patriot-approved apparel right here in St. Louis. Visit whiskeydickerson.com to find their great designs. You can shop Ultra MAGA, Let's Go Brandon, and even 97.1 FM Talk. If you like your whiskey, your Second Amendment, and the freedom to live life on your own terms, check them out at whiskeydickerson.com.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
Mark Cox.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brian Kilmeade.
How about this?
Annie Frey.
Wow, we really got to change course.
Mark Reardon.
Coming together.
Dana Lash.
I mean, it's 2022.
Listen on the Odyssey app and rewind whenever you'd like.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
You need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Fiscal year 2022 ended with 599,000 known gotaways at our southern border. That's an average of 50,000 every single month and more than 1,500 slipping past our border agents every single day.
It's really quite shocking to understand the magnitude of what is taking place on a daily occurrence on our southern border. And of all of the issues we talk about that are affecting people's decisions, motivating people more, motivating people less, going into this midterm election, the impact that every day that we take and ignore what's taking place in our southern border, which the administration certainly is, it has to be on purpose at this point. It's going to have an effect on crime. It's going to have an effect on the economy. It's going to have an effect on education. Everything is going to be affected by our negligence on the southern border. Let's talk to our friend Jim Carafano about it, Vice President for Foreign and Security Policy at Heritage Foundation. Heritage.org is the website. Jim, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, I think I'm going to surprise you with who I'm really mad at.
Okay.
I'm not really most mad at Biden because we know what he's doing and we know how he's doing it, right? Here, I'm mad at the other political party, and since I'm a nonpartisan person and I do policy, not politics. I won't mention Republicans, but what are they doing to respond to this? Mm-hmm. And the answer is they're talking now about, well, we're gonna cut some kind of deal, like we're gonna cut a deal on amnesty. They're back to business as usual, kind of like before, Trump came along. And this notion is no, we've got to go back to the basics. Secure the border, deport illegal aliens, and enforce our laws. And we have lots of very, very serious legislators who are looking to get back control of Congress. And the first thing they're going to do is go back to being George Bush and start talking about, well, we have to compromise here on, DACA and these children. And then, we have to have amnesty because we just can't deport everybody. And this is like people turned that party out to begin with, because they weren't fighting for the American people and delivering their issues. They were compromising with the left and just trying to be a little less evil. That's got to stop.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't solved the problem in the past. It's perpetuated the problem. And when the Republican Party has had some sort of authority in Washington, D.C., and they don't utilize it in a way that's going to protect this country from more of this, it makes the problem worse when they don't have the authority. You mentioned DACA and compromise. I can't remember off the top of my head who it was that was saying this, and I wish I could, but they were saying that, when we talk about DACA, and Chuck Schumer was the one who said that, they won't even come to the table to talk about DACA. That is an incredibly separate issue than the current open border status that we have. And if the legislators don't focus on the open border, then we can't even define what DACA is at this point.
Well, all these things are linked because it's based on some kind of premise that you can enforce the law by not enforcing the law. This notion about, of course we want secure borders and legal immigration system, but we have billions of exceptions. Well, I mean, this is like having a stop sign and say, we do hand out speeding tickets, but we don't want to hand them out to people that we don't want to hand them out to. It doesn't work that way. I mean, Donald Trump had a very simple strategy. Enforce the laws on the books, deport people that are here illegally, and secure the border. The illegal population in the United States declined while he was the president of the United States. Crime went down. The control of the border increased significantly. The pressure on the cartels and the difficulty of smuggling increased significantly. All of those things work. And now people are going to come to you and say, no, we don't have to do that. We don't have to take the hard medicine. We can do this other stuff. We can not offend people. We can be generous to, people who came here as children. Okay, you can do all that stuff, but you're not going to solve the border problem. If this is a very clear and stark choice. If you want a secure border, if you don't want to be open to terrorists, if you don't want the tax burdens and the crime burdens and all the other associated problems that come with endless streams of illegal immigration, you have to stop and deter illegal immigration. And you do that by enforcing the law. And any other thing is just pretending to help everyday Americans. It's just like taxes. If you want to do better, lower their taxes. Don't come up with, I'm going to give you this benefit or I'll forgive your student loan. Just spend less. Let Americans keep more of their own money. So it's nonsense about offering some kind of deal that's going to magically solve problems. And particularly when we know how to solve problems, just like foreign policy. What makes the enemies of Russia and Iran and North Korea and China fear the United States? A president who says, I'm going to stand up and protect our interests, and I won't be bullied by these people. Everything else that we can cut a deal. We can buy off the Iranians. We can threaten sanctions. All this stuff is nonsense. But we need a not just a president. We need congressional leaders as well, national leaders at the state and local level who say, look, I'm going to do the hard things to make life better for everyday Americans. And if you're not doing that, you're like the captain of the Titanic who's very proud that he got the boats away safely. Like, dude, I wish you wouldn't have sunk the ship.
Yeah. That's such a great analogy. Jim Carafano with us right now at the Heritage Foundation. This is taking place on our southern border. I look at what's happening in the world. I feel like I personally understand the southern border issue more, and especially how it affects me and my daily life with this influx of people here that are unchecked and unwatched. But on the global scale, there are a lot of different areas in our world that have piqued the interest of American citizens, certainly by the spending of our tax dollars, of course, in aid, but also in tensions. We heard Kamala Harris slip up and say that we have a working relationship with North Korea, or however she worded it. I mean, it was a slip up. It's not what she meant to say. She said it. Where are your attentions the most focused across the globe on how it affects the American way of life?
Well, like I'd say two things. First of all, not to drift far away from the border immigration issue, but look, if we can't solve our problems right here at home, then we are doomed. Fentanyl deaths in this country are going to reach genocide level by the time Biden's term is over. Think about that. I mean, we are going to have deaths in this country due to our policies that are at the level of a genocide. This is a self-imposed genocide. So if we can't solve our own problems, do you think the world looks at us and thinks that we're going to solve any other ones? Once we secure our border and get lawful immigration, look, it's China. China is at the root of every major challenge that we have in the world today, foreign and many domestic as well. And so if the United States has a clear answer to the China challenge, and we can't secure our border and get immigration under control, then a lot of things are just kind of academic.
When you see the conflict between Ukraine and Putin and Russia, and you see the internal conflict that is coming out of Russia with Putin and his control there, it's hard for somebody like me to understand the reports, the news, the updates that are coming out of Russia, and to know what's real, what's not, what do people want us to think. What's your assessment right now of Vladimir Putin and his ability to run Russia the way Vladimir Putin wants Russia to be run?
Yeah, I mean, this is the nature of these autocratic societies, is that we don't have strong situational awareness into them, and they don't even know what's going on inside. So you cannot craft a strategy based on what's going on inside Russia, because it's something you know very little about and can't control. It's true for China. It's true for Iran as well. So you can only deal with things that are in your own hands. So I think a Ukraine that is independent and can defend itself is in our interest. It frustrates Russia. It frustrates China. Providing military support that allows the Ukrainians to defend ourselves, that to me is just job one, and we should continue to do that and let everything else, fall and, will happen. I mean, you work on the things that you control. You don't fret about the things that you can't.
Yeah, I want to play for you a clip here, and we're going to bring it back home, specifically to St. Louis. Representative Cori Bush is the representative from right here in St. Louis, and she's talking again about her push to defund the police.
And you've stuck by it. In fact, you're one of the few Democrats now who still says, let's defund the police. Are you worried at all that could hurt some of your colleagues going into the midterm elections?
See, the thing about defund the police is we have to tell the entire narrative. People hear defund the police, but you know what they'll say? Say reallocate, say divest, say move. But it's still the same thing. We can't get caught up on the words. People spend more time focusing on the word defund than they spend on caring and addressing the problem of police violence in this country.
She's talking about the phrase defund the police and how it's going to affect the midterms, and of course how she would want people to support her party, the Democratic Party. I'm curious about your assessment, Jim Carafano, on the idea of defund the police that we've been seeing for years. Has that movement made our country less safe?
No, and look, it's just like CRT. It's just like the ESG things. It's just about climate change. This is cloth as this is a reasonable agenda. We all know that we want to deal with crime. But the way we're going to do this is we're not going to rely on traditional law enforcement. We're going to do and these are all lies. I mean, it's all fairy dust. The notion that somehow there's an alternative to public safety that involves not having public safety, it's just nonsense, because it's all about political control. And when you hear Cori Bush talk about that, she doesn't care about her constituents. She doesn't care about Americans. She doesn't care about anybody. She may have a fanciful idea in her head how this all works out and turns into Disneyland. But the reality is when they take control and they do these smarter, better, wonderful ways of doing things, we wind up with hellholes like San Francisco and Los Angeles and cities with rampant crime and more poverty and, Russians invading Ukraine and Iranians killing their neighbors and the leftists taking over Latin America. It all works perfect in their heads. And when they say their lovely talking points, and when they're on runways, and in Miami at the really nice resorts and in big conferences, but where it doesn't work? It doesn't work on the ground for everyday Americans who are trying to feed their families and protect their homes and raise their children. So I think people like her, I think are a disgrace and dangerous. And I sometimes just shake my head at how people like that get elected. I mean, people care about themselves and their families and their communities could buy literally a person who's trying to sell them the Brooklyn Bridge.
Do you believe that politicians need to be the ones who come out and support the police? Does the countermeasure to the political activism that has made this such a lucrative movement in the country, are politicians the one who are going to steer this back in the direction of law and order?
Well, I think that because we elect them as our elected representatives, I mean, they have to be part of the mix. And, I'll go back to the immigration issue again, too. Americans want secure borders, and they want illegal immigration to stop. And when you have politicians who are calculating about, well, maybe except for DACA and amnesty, they're acting like politicians. They're not acting like what they're supposed to be. The representatives of the people, and more importantly, a member of Congress or a member elected to the federal government, or they're the servants of the people. They're supposed to be like Queen Elizabeth. They're there to serve the people and make their lives better, which is why we put governments there. They're not there to tell us how to live our lives and to basically impoverish us at the expense of their political power and their wealth. I mean, we just have this backwards.
It is so backwards that it's sometimes hard to even understand that this is our reality. Like, how did we get this far in this conversation? How is this actually what we're saying out loud and supporting in mass? It's very frustrating, and it's not making anybody safer. Jim Carafano, thank you. We always love talking to you.
Thanks for having me.
We'll talk to you again next week. Vice President for Foreign and Security Policy at the Heritage Foundation. Go say hi on Twitter at JJ Carafano. A quick break. When we come back, I'm excited to talk to Mailee Smith. She's a staff attorney and director of labor policy at the Illinois Policy Institute. We're going to talk about an issue that many of you have reached out and asked me about, and that's Amendment 1 in Illinois. And it has to do with workers' rights and the whole 9 yards. But we're going to get the details from Mailee Smith, the Illinois Policy Institute, when we come back. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. Text Red Cross to 90999 to give $10 to American Red Cross Disaster Relief, which helps people affected by disasters such as Hurricane Ian. Message and data rates may apply, or go to 971talk.com for additional ways you can help.
So as the weather gets a little cooler, now's a great time to have Air Comfort Service come out to your home and test and check, do the maintenance, the tune-up on your furnace. Do it before the weather gets here and it's freezing and you turn it on and it doesn't work. Air Comfort Service can be trusted in your home, and I say this as somebody who has had Air Comfort Service in my home many times, with a new air conditioner, a new furnace, a new water heater, and the AeroSeal duct sealing that they did in my home. When it comes to heating a house that has multiple levels, we have a partially finished basement. The bedrooms are on the second floor. When the air was being pushed through our ventilation, guess what? It was heating and cooling differently on different floors because we had so much air leaking out of the ventilation. They did a measurement. They pushed the air through. They see how much air is leaking, and they put a sealant in there that makes it so you heat the areas you're paying to heat in your house. Energy costs are out of control. This is a great way to make sure that you are having a more energy efficient system, regardless of whether you have to put a new one in. For all of your HVAC needs, call the people who we call at our house Air Comfort Service, 314-513-0091, online at aircomfortservice.com.
Nobody wants to miss the important things in life, and if it's because of bad vision, you don't have to. Mark Cox here from my friends at Brenton Vision. They can help you out. That's why I want you to take 2 minutes today to call my friends at Brenton at 314-375-2020 or go online to BrentonVision.com. Your eyes are as unique as your fingerprint. Since Brenton Vision is the only place in Missouri offering all 7 forms of modern vision correction, they can create a customized treatment plan just for your vision. They helped my wife out. She chose the lens replacement therapy and now sees better than ever, and she loves it. You can have that same experience with Brenton Vision. They accept flex plans and medical spending plans as well at Brenton. So don't let that money expire or go to waste. See your best. Do what we did. Call Brenton Vision at 314-375-2020 or schedule online right now at BrentonVision.com.
My name is Dr. Brooke Bello. I'm not a political figure. I'm a survivor. When I was a kid, I was trafficked, drugged, and raped. The traffickers forced me to have multiple abortions. Had my mother been notified, she could have intervened, called the police, and saved me from years of exploitation. Last year, I told my story to General Assembly and Governor Pritzker, pleading with them to preserve the right of Illinois' loving parents to know if their daughters are about to undergo an abortion. Governor Pritzker ignored my cry. He took away the very thing that could have saved me and is needed to protect those being exploited today. Parental rights that protect our kids should never be in doubt. This is personal to me, and I hope it's important to you when you vote this November.
Paid for by people who play by the rules pack.
Oh, Hank, what a wonderful spider web you have built for us. I love this fabulous space we have right here in the corner of the kitchen.
Thanks, Charlotte. I think I'll build us a vacation web in the coat closet. Maybe even one in Susie's room, too. Oh, no. It's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They always kill the mood.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
Congress has authorized trillions in new spending, along with doubling the size of the IRS agency in just the last few months. Do you think that is by accident? No, it is with a purpose, to go after small businesses, employees, and individuals who have not filed or paid their taxes. If this is you, don't panic, just call. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Interest and penalties on your tax bill won't stop until you take control. Call me, Lance Drury. I'll tell you in advance an affordable fee, which includes costs and expenses, that works for your business and family. Your first visit to the Lance Drury Law Firm is free and confidential, so you have nothing to lose. Call me today. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. You need an attorney. You need us, the Lance Drury Law Firm. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120. Or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
At One Cardinal Way, you don't pay while the Cardinals play. In celebration of the Redbirds' quest for their 12th World Series title, One Cardinal Way is offering free rent to new residents for as long as the Cardinals are playing in the 2022 postseason. One Cardinal Way offers luxury apartment living with 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and penthouse apartment homes that boast floor-to-ceiling windows, chef-inspired kitchens, top-of-the-line appliances, luxury finishes, and breathtaking views of downtown St. Louis, the Gateway Arch, and Busch Stadium. Visit onecardinalway.com for details.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
How much of my mother has my
Follow
mother
Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
How much of my love will be insane to some degree? And what about this feeling that I'm never good enough? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood?
The amendment would also allow workers to promote their economic welfare and safety, which Berg says would allow unions to demand things outside of the traditional wages and benefits, like affordable housing. He claims that would basically give labor unions carte blanche to ask for whatever they want.
The powers that are given in this are so broad that nobody even knows really the full extent of what the effects this will be.
Austin Berg speaking there on the Amendment 1 that is going to be on your ballot, Illinois folks. I've had a lot of questions about this, and it's definitely something that deserves our attention. I'm going to read from IllinoisPolicy.org here, their study guide on this issue. The number one priority of Illinois government unions in 2022 is to pass an amendment to the Illinois Constitution in November known as Amendment 1. And to get the details on this and explain what this amendment is actually asking of you in a yes vote would be Mailee Smith with the Illinois Policy Institute. She is our staff attorney and director of labor policy. Mailee, welcome back to the show. It's great to have you here on this topic.
It is great to be back. It is an important topic, and we need everyone in Illinois to know that this is a tax hike in disguise. This is going to drive up Illinois taxes and cement Illinois' reputation as one of the worst places to do business.
So, Mailee, talk to me specifically about the question that's being asked in Amendment 1. Like, what are voters going to see on their ballot? Let's talk about that first, and then we will go into what it actually means if it were to pass.
Sure. Yeah, so they aren't actually going to see the text of the amendment itself. What they are going to see is kind of a summary, which is misleading and slanted towards the yes side. It's a long paragraph that says the proposed amendment would add a new section to the Bill of Rights in the Illinois Constitution that would guarantee workers the fundamental right to organize and bargain collectively and negotiate over wages, hours, working conditions, and it goes on in its summary. So voters aren't actually going to see the text of the amendment, and they're not going to see what is really behind this amendment. And as you alluded to this with Austin Berg's quote, this is about government unions in Illinois trying to seize power from the people.
So, people are referring to this as the Workers' Rights Amendment. If you are not studied on this, if you get into the ballot box and you're like, Amendment 1, what is this? Oh, it's for workers' rights. Well, it's kind of hard to just openly be like, I don't want workers to have rights, so I'm gonna vote no on this.
Right.
What does a yes vote mean on Amendment 1 in Illinois?
So this really isn't about workers' rights, even though it's been framed that way. And that's because this amendment does four things. It has four provisions. First, it grants a fundamental right to unionize, but that only can apply to state and local government workers. That's not clear from the face of the amendment. But when voters go in, they need to know this is a fundamental right that is only going to about 7% of the adult population in the state of Illinois. And second, another provision, it expands bargaining for government unions beyond those traditional subjects like wages and compensation, the things that are traditionally bargained at the table. It expands them to include broad new subjects like economic welfare. That's not defined. It's not used in any other state constitution. It's not used in the National Labor Relations Act. There's no way to know exactly what that means until we see government unions pushing the line and trying to expand the scope of what they demand. And we know that with this virtually unlimited amount of subjects that government unions can demand and go on strike over, because it gives them a permanent right to strike, that's going to make government cost more. So the bottom line that voters need to know is that this is expanding the subjects that government unions can demand. They will have a right to strike over all of these subjects. That will increase the cost of government. And that cost will be passed on to the taxpayers. Probably it could be gas taxes, it could be income taxes, but most likely property taxes. Their taxes will go up as a result of this amendment.
We're speaking with Mailee Smith, a staff attorney and director of labor policy at the Illinois Policy Institute. You mentioned that this Amendment 1 would expand bargaining for government worker unions beyond wages and benefits to include broad new subjects, including economic welfare. If it doesn't define what economic welfare is, what could that mean?
It's hard to know. This has never been tested. There isn't a single state that has any one of the provisions, let alone all of the provisions that are in Amendment 1. But we do have an example through Chicago's teachers union of the types of things they have tried to negotiate, like affordable housing, or they've even pushed for defunding the police. There are things that they could broadly tied to economic welfare that have never been on the table before, but now they possibly could be demanded under Amendment 1.
So it also talks about how the Amendment 1 is set up to prohibit state and local lawmakers from passing taxpayer-friendly reforms, such as limits to the length of government union contracts or improved disciplinary measures for misconduct. That's kind of a strange provision to say, nope, we don't want our legislators to be able to infiltrate these types of misconduct situations. And of course, in Illinois, we have seen our fair share of government relationships with private groups getting government contracts that abuse the Illinois taxpayer. I mean, if you're an Illinois taxpayer right now, you're paying sky-high taxes and you're really looking around going, what am I even getting for this? In order to solve our most basic needs and the promises that our Illinois state government has made to its workers in the pension form, they've advocated that responsibility as well. Now it looks like they want to say, well, you can't, legislators who are representing the people and the taxpayers, legislators can't come in here and say, we're going to limit how long this government contract is going to take place. And if there's misconduct, we're going to keep you at that arm's length.
That's exactly right. And it doesn't say that, this is another one of those hidden scary consequences. It doesn't say that explicitly, but what it does say is that lawmakers can never act to inhibit or to interfere with or diminish the rights that are created. So that means they can't limit the subjects that can be negotiated. They can't limit the length of a contract. They couldn't say, after X many times, you're out of government work because you have shown up to work drunk so many times. They couldn't do that under this amendment. And it really does tie the hands of lawmakers It takes away the people's voice. And Tim Dre, who's the Illinois president of the Illinois AFL-CIO, has indicated in other interviews that's the purpose. He says it's like a lockbox to prevent lawmakers from ever changing this right in the future. So proponents admit that this is being put in place in our Constitution so that lawmakers can't act on behalf of the people.
So if the contracts that are being negotiated, the government contracts with these workers unions, if they're being paid for by taxpayer dollars, doesn't it seem as though the taxpayers would have an interest in making sure that these types of situations can't be abused? And if they are being abused, that the taxpayers have a way to, through the people they elect to represent them, rein those back in?
That's exactly right. And there are many consequences to this provision if it is placed in our Constitution. One is that it will raise taxes. 2 is that it inhibits lawmakers from acting. 3, it could even allow government union leaders to override state law by putting contrary provisions into their contracts. So, for example, background checks. Background checks are required by law for teachers or DCFS workers to be employed. But a government union could say, you know what, we want to open this up. We don't want to have background checks as part of the employment process. So we're going to write that into our contract, no background checks on employees, and that would override state law. So that's the danger that is involved with this open-ended expansion of subjects, while at the same time prohibiting lawmakers from ever fixing any of the problems that this is going to create.
Paul on our Annie Frey YouTube channel says a yes vote supports establishing a state constitutional right for employees to organize and bargain collectively through representatives of their choosing to negotiate, quote, wages, hours, and there's more comment here, but it doesn't show me. But like to understand what Paul is suggesting that this is doing, who I would assume Paul is a proponent of Amendment 1. I'm wondering what you think that the average Illinois state worker sees this and they think, no, this is a good thing because, and then, fill in the blank there. It seems to me like there might be things in this amendment that would benefit the everyday state worker, but that the way this is worded is so broad that it doesn't confine exactly what Amendment 1 is doing to a specific purpose. And that's
right.
Probably intentional.
And that is intentional. It's also been intentionally written to just list it as applying to all employees. So that gives voters the idea that this applies to everyone when it can't apply to everyone. It cannot apply to private sector workers and unions because that's already controlled by the federal government. So the state would be overstepping its bounds and entering the territory of the federal government. So this can't apply to private sector workers. And when it comes to state and local government workers, their rights are already very tight and very solid under our Illinois Public Labor Relations Act and the Illinois Educational Labor Relations Act. They have the right to bargain, to unionize, to bargain over wages, hours, and terms and conditions of employment. All of that is already there. They're already protected. So if Amendment 1 doesn't pass, they are still protected with some of the broadest labor laws in the country. What this amendment does is hand power over to those government union leaders to negotiate new things that are in their agenda areas. I know I mentioned CTU already, but they're really one of those go-to examples in Illinois because they have prided themselves in putting things on the table that aren't typically subjects to be negotiated. And they've done that and encouraged other teachers' unions around the nation to do so as well. This isn't going to help workers. It's only going to empower the government union leaders to push an agenda. And those subjects aren't things that are going to help workers. The rights that they already have already protects them.
Mailee Smith with us right now, attorney and director of labor policy at the Illinois Policy Institute. Talk to me about the money that's behind pushing Amendment 1 to pass. Is there a large sum of money being lobbied through from the workers' unions that is being pushed in to try to encourage people to vote yes on this? Or is there like a groundswell of grassroots support?
This is, the last time I looked, it was the vote yes side, their campaign had about $14 million, and the majority of that has come from unions, government unions and private sector unions that are pushing this. This is very much a government or union leadership push. On the other side, the vote no side, there's only about $1 million in it so far. So the people of Illinois have been hearing more right now from the workers, the proponent side, because they have been flushed with money from unions.
And, you know, the final question that I have, because you've mentioned this multiple times, you're saying that this is going to result in a tax increase. This is a tax increase in disguise. A vote yes on Amendment 1 is a tax increase for Illinois taxpayers. How does that manifest itself over the course of the next couple years?
Yeah. So if property tax rates simply continue to increase at their long-run average rate, the typical homeowner in Illinois will pay over $2,100 more in additional property taxes over the next 4 years. That's just the baseline. That's if we follow the current trajectory of property taxes and home values. But they will likely increase at an even higher rate because of all these new demands that government union leaders will be able to make. Government contracts already cost money. And so these contracts will cost more because of the increased number of subjects, and that's going to be passed on to the taxpayers. And we just don't know what all could be demanded and how high taxes could rise because this has never been tested.
Man. Mailee Smith, thank you so much. I'm going to share this article right now, the facts, the Amendment 1 study guide on Illinois Policy Institute's website, illinoispolicy.org. We're going to touch base with you again before Election Day to make sure people have the opportunity to ask the questions on this issue and be informed and make their own decisions. And you guys provide great information every time we speak to you. Thank you, Mailee. Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. IllinoisPolicy.org is the website, and I'm going to share that article right now. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to get it, and I'll post it in the live chat. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I don't know if it's Hannah time or not. There's somebody who's had to run an errand, and we're waiting for that person to get back. But Sunday, Hannah's 21st birthday, which alludes to our YouTube live chat poll for today. We are curious, and we're loving reading the conversations as they come through. If you go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, you'll see in the live chat section of the live video right now where you can watch us as we broadcast live. How hard did you go on your birthday, your legal drinking age birthday, 18, 21, whatever it was for you? 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or 5? And tell us your stories in the live chat. We'll be right back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Broken home become another broken family, or will we be there for each other like nobody ever could? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood?
The Mark Reardon Show.
Doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet, and the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed. I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes: cowboy boots, running shoes, walking shoes, flat shoes, heels. Makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up, because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborn.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
So IGotFloor.com is the website to check out. Our friends at Michael's Flooring Outlet, and they have amazing sales all the time on the flooring that you are looking to put into your home or into your place of business, your commercial area, your church. If you're looking for great value on high quality products, Michael's Flooring Outlet, that's the place that you need to go. IGotFloor.com. They have the carpet, the Mohawk Smart Strand carpet. They have the hardwood. They have the laminate, the tile, the luxury vinyl. and all sorts of different waterproof flooring and also hypoallergenic options for you as well. When you reach out to the people at Michael's Flooring Outlet, whether it's through their website at igotfloored.com or if it's through stopping by one of their stores, the customer sales staff that they have there that's ready to answer your questions and to respect the budget that you're walking in with, I should say, they are going to win your customer opportunity, the purchase, over. You're going to be so happy that you stopped by Michael's Flooring Outlet and gave them the opportunity to earn your business. All the details that you need to know, including how to get an estimate online at igotfloored.com.
If you need to freshen up the inside of your home with a new coat of paint, CertaPro painters can not only help, but they'll knock it out of the park. CertaPro painters have powers well beyond those of ordinary painters, like the power of a cut above, the power of reliability, and the power of neighborhood painters where you live. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. And it's super easy to set up a free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. CertaPro Painters, proven and trusted experts in painting. Head to CertaPro.com today.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AAMCO.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
Need to beat inflation? Golden Oak Lending is here to help.
Inflation has credit card balances at an all-time high. Why pay up to 25% interest when Golden Oak can pay off that debt at 5.75% fixed?
Our low mortgage rates make you the winner.
Call 314-567-GOLD to lock in your 5.75% rate today.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
NMLS 114937. 5.75% fixed, 6.991% APR. FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their honor flight today at gslhonorflight.org, and for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
If it's bumper to bumper or smooth sailing, Sue Thomas has you covered with dependable traffic. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Today is a little bit of a birthday day here on the Annie Frey Show because we are acknowledging Hannah's 21st birthday, which took place on Sunday. Today's YouTube live chat poll: how hard did you go on your 21st birthday or your 18th, whatever your legal drinking age is? How hard did you go? You get four options: 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or 5.
My family has texted me and said that I gave myself an appropriate rating.
That was good?
Leaning 4.
You said 3 to 4. More like a 3. Maybe a 4. 4.5.
Yeah, that was a good range.
That was just so great. Birthday party.
Good. I just love all you guys.
Yes. So we have some things for you, of course. Who first? Did you give her treats already?
Yes,
I
she
gave her
did.
a bag of treats.
Whole bag of treats. I'm excited for the birthday cluster popcorn.
Oh, good. Yeah.
That stuff.
Good.
That is next level stuff.
Can we talk about the flavor? Like anything that's birthday cake flavor? I'm
love
okay
it.
with that.
I like it.
Confetti cake or whatever?
Yes.
I'm good with this.
I like that.
This is from Brad and...
This is from Brian.
Ryan. This is from Brian.
Okay.
And you'll probably be able to tell when you open this which part specifically is from Ryan. So
Okay.
walk us through what you've got here.
First is a cup That's so cute. Oh, it's a Dunkin' cup. I love Dunkin'. It's a nice one. It's a Dunkin' cup. First is a Dunkin' cup, and
this is a gift card.
This is from Ryan Wiggins. I know it says Domino's gift card, and it's an envelope that has cash in it.
I think it's an envelope from his power bill.
Yeah. You can only spend that at Domino's, though. It's cash, but it was intended to be a Domino's gift
For
card.
Domino's, because I love Domino's.
I went to Domino's,
you.
and they told me we do not sell Domino's gift cards at Domino's now.
They said you should go somewhere else.
They said go somewhere. Yeah, said go somewhere else. Maybe the suburbs have them. Walgreens probably has them. I'm like, you're a Domino's.
And
So,
a
forget
Dunkin' gift card. Thank you.
That's a nice cup.
I know. This is fancy.
So you can put like a leash.
Lanyard? Yes.
Lanyard.
Absolutely.
Hanging around your neck.
I don't know. I don't know that I would carry a
Did
full
you say
drink.
yes, absolutely? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know that I would do it
100%.
with a full cup though, because that's attached to the lid, and that lid would.
This might be the fanciest cup I've ever owned.
Wait, is there more from you in this gift over here?
Yeah,
too?
I think one got misplaced. There's one for me in the next one, too.
This is from all of us.
Oh,
So
thank you.
this is from the show. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
You
Let's
nice.
see what we have here. A hat.
Mhm. A personalized hat. You can wear that wherever you go.
It's a Hannah hat.
Yep.
Hat that says Hannah that was drawn on with Sharpie.
How many other people? Wait.
No, it's a brand new hat. There's
That's
cardboard
right.
in
That
it.
doesn't mean that Ryan hasn't. You think that because there's cardboard in there that it hasn't been worn before?
This is so insulting. I don't wear cardboard in my hat.
Ryan, have you worn that hat?
No.
Has it ever been on your head?
I may have tried it on, but I don't
Where
know.
did you get the hat from?
Foodland.
I'll wear it.
There you go.
That looks great on you naturally.
It says Hannah.
It's
in
for
Sharpie.
you, clearly.
Yeah.
There's
Oh.
only one of those.
Karen Mom Water. Oh, this is a Linda.
Yes. Linda.
Linda and a Karen.
There's one other one in there.
It's a Dunkin'. Oh, and my favorite drink ever.
There's a bottle
Water.
of hydration in there. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Smart water. They should have street water that just comes from the St. Louis streets.
Ew, why?
I don't know.
No, they shouldn't. That's a terrible
and a
idea.
Sandy.
That's the one that Ryan and I had on the air. Is a card in there? Okay, it is. There's more. I was
And a
going to say.
card.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful card.
Guess where the card came from?
Terry.
Mrs. Brad.
No, it came from the
Happy
heart.
21st birthday. This is a beautiful card. Happy birthday to an amazing producer and friend, Brad. Happy birthday, Hannah. You are a blessing. Annie. Pay attention to this one the most. Happy birthday, Ryan. Thank you.
You read it last.
Oh,
of insulting.
see?
You're taking it hard. You're out of form. You take 2 days off and your
My
skin is
emotions,
thin.
my emotions bubble up to the front.
This is cute. A little
To the top.
notebook and
To the front.
pens.
What are they
Yay.
doing on the front? My emotions bubble up to the
To the front.
And a Starbucks gift card. Thank you so much.
Oh, man.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I will not be drinking this anytime soon. I cannot drink alcohol for a while, but that water I will bust open.
I knew of all
soon.
the things to getting you that hydration was the most important.
Yes, that is important. to me.
Trisha, she said that she started hydrating for her Sunday 21st birthday on Friday morning.
Smart.
I
Very
did. I was
smart.
drinking liquid IV, and in the kitchen, everybody was like, well, half the people were like, you're not 21. I was like, nope. And then they all started making fun of me for
Anybody who makes fun of
hydrating in
you.
advance.
Oh, well, for that. I was going to say, anybody who teases you for the age is just jealous. Everybody was shocked that you are that young. And several people were saying on the comments, there's a happy birthday post on the Annie Frey Show Facebook. So if you'd like to leave your personal wishes to Hannah, you can go to the Annie Frey Show Facebook page and do that. But people kept calling you our intern. I'm like, she's our associate producer.
I get offended when people say intern.
I knew you would. So I was like, go in there. I'm like, no, she's not the intern. She's the AP. But yeah, you're like all grown up now.
I am really excited to try the Karen.
Yes. I posted, this is Mom Water, and I have a partnership with Mom Water, and I've been excited to be able to promote them. I actually was drinking a Karen this past weekend, and I posted it, and then I got people who got mad at me because I said something about Karen. I'm like, it's the name of the drink. They're like, well, why did you choose Karen? I'm like, because lemon blueberry sounds delicious.
I will record myself trying my first Mom Water.
There you go.
best believe it'll be a Karen.
That's fantastic. And like, I love all the Karens of the world. Period.
If anything, it's Karen promotion. You support the Karens.
Somebody commented on there, I bet it's bitter.
And complains a lot.
It's just that I bet it's bitter.
Wants to see your manager.
And I thought, the Karens on this that are mad at me are really going to be mad about that. But I laughed out loud when I read that comment. It's pretty funny. All right. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you all for
Happy
the
birthday.
gifts and birthday wishes. I feel so loved. Thank you all.
Well, you absolutely are. You're a blessing to us. And clearly from the comments of folks who wished you happy birthday, they enjoy you. A lot of people want you to marry their sons. And she's taken right now. And in the future, that's probably not going to change. But we still love her. And you can show your sons, look, girls like this exist. She's fantastic. She's ours. Stick around. We're going to get back to that YouTube live chat poll when we come back.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. Over the past decade, Coalition Life has served thousands of women in crisis pregnancies, helping to save the lives of the children they carry. Help us build a better community while also reducing or completely eliminating your Missouri taxes with a 70% tax credit. A $1,000 donation today to help these women could cost you as little as $141 out of pocket. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com and join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, healthfromwithinstl.com.
Hi, this is Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, Tom's nephew. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. What if it were possible to protect you from market downturns without having to make an emotional decision to buy or sell? What if you could take advantage of a strategy that would automatically take you out of harm's way during the bad years and position you for the growth opportunity during the good years?
The secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. Learn the strategies that have helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 36 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Annie Frey here to talk to you about the ENTs that are going to put you at the center of their practice. I'm talking about Gateway ENT. Online at gatewaydoctors.com, you're going to learn about one of the oldest private practice ear, nose, and throat groups in the area with multiple convenient locations for you. West County, Sunset Hills, Festus. For more than 40 years, they've been happily caring for children and adults. They are the most cost-effective alternative to ENT practices that are employed by large hospital systems. Learn more online at gatewaydoctors.com.
Odyssey celebrates Hispanic Heritage Month and the trailblazers who made their mark worldwide. Rosita Dolores Alberio, also known as Rita Moreno, is known for her roles in the classical musical films Singing in the Rain, The King and I, and West Side Story, just to name a few. But did you know Rita is an EGOT? Rita is one of the few to win an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and a Tony. Odyssey celebrates Rita Moreno and National Hispanic Heritage Month. More on the Odyssey app, and celebrate the sounds and stories of Hispanic heritage at odyssey.com/HHM.
KFTK FM Florissant.
Driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group.
97.1 FM Talk.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's hitting
keeping Americans in the wallet. Lisa Brady, Fox News. And with gas prices back on the rise.
We have never said we were done here. We have always been very clear that there is more work to do.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre acknowledging that some parts of the country are paying more than $5 or even $6 a gallon.
But we have seen, the reality is we have seen the fastest decline in gasoline prices in over a decade. That's because of what this president has done.
Pointing in part to releases from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, which are scheduled to end this month, just as OPEC considers a production cut. Oil prices surging back over $86 a barrel today, as gas prices get back over $3.80 in the AAA nationwide average, still more than $1 less than the June high. The White House condemning North Korea's decision to launch a long-range ballistic missile over Japan last night, calling it dangerous and reckless.
The launch was a danger to the Japanese people, destabilizing to the region, and a clear violation of the United Nations Council's Security Council resolutions.
But Jean-Pierre says the U.S. remains prepared to engage in serious, sustained diplomacy to make tangible progress toward complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. President Biden does plan to meet with Florida's Republican governor when he visits the state tomorrow for a first-hand update on recovery from Hurricane Ian, which is still in the very early stages, with some of the hardest-hit areas still flooded.
Residents are coming back to their destroyed homes and livelihoods. The Coast Guard is in the air. The National Guard is on the ground searching and rescuing still and setting up perimeters with provisions and water for folks affected.
Fox Weather's Robert Way in Fort Myers Beach. Utility crews still working to restore power to hundreds of thousands of customers. America is listening to Fox News.
Come on, we're going to be late to the cookout.
I was just packing up my famous mac and cheese.
I hope you packed the Pepto, too.
Huh?
Pepto-Bismol provides fast relief from heartburn and indigestion. You know, that uncomfortable feeling after you eat too much. And after the deviled eggs, baked beans, and barbecue ribs, you're going to need it.
Barbecue ribs? I should probably pack an extra shirt, too.
Good call.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto-Bismol. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
What did 9 out of 10 people who died from COVID have in common?
They were 50 or older.
And if you have a condition like heart disease or diabetes, your risk is even higher.
COVID vaccines lower the risk of death.
Get your updated vaccine now. It could save your life.
We can do this. Find updated COVID vaccines at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's all about sunshine and dry conditions on this Tuesday afternoon. Just gorgeous out there. Sunny and 75 tonight. Clear skies 48. Wednesday, partly sunny. A little bit warmer, but still gorgeous. 78. Thursday, partly sunny. Maybe a sprinkle, but tough to find. 78. How about a nice change on Friday? Northwest winds, partly sunny. 59. 60 for the high temperature. That's it on Friday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
How do you feel, Jesse Jane, when you find out that the Air Force is now telling its cadets that they have to be more inclusive and they can't use the term boyfriend or girlfriend or mom and dad because that may alienate people?
Weekdays from 5 to 9 a.m.
You know, the Air Force cadets, God bless them, and all of the airmen that go in, God bless them, you know, because many of them did not sign up for this. Let's be honest. Most of them did not sign up for this.
97.1 FM Talk.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you may be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com. That's getrefunds.com.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, Board and Batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today. sidingexpress.com.
The federal government is hiring 87,000 new IRS enforcement agents. Make no mistake, with spending out of control, they're looking to collect revenue. The first target will be you. If you have not paid your taxes or filed them in years, let me help you get that target off your back. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm here in St. Louis. So if you have unfiled returns, wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, now's the time to call the Lance Drury Law Firm before the IRS calls you. Your consultation is free, so don't put it off. The Lance Drury Law Firm focuses solely on tax resolution law. It's all we do. And if you have IRS problems, you have legal problems. Let us use our tax law resolution experience to guide you and work on your custom resolution plan. Call now. It's free and confidential. Call me, Lance Drury, at 314-260-6120 or go to LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Fall into a hiring spree with Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
I'm Eric Robert with Stifel. The economy is always changing, but what does it mean for your investments? Join me and fellow Stifel financial advisor Bob Stockdale during On the Money, Saturday mornings from 11 until noon on 97.1 FM Talk. Stifel, member NYSE and SIPC.
Anytime is a smart speaker time. Hey Alexa, hey Siri. Stream 97.1 by command. It's easy and it's free. Right here. 97.1 FM Talk. Right here, right now.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I'm guessing you're not inviting the president to join you here in the campaign trail anytime soon?
No, I am not. And I'm really not inviting anybody. Like, I think, JD, has to invite Trump. He's got to invite Don Jr. He's got to invite Lindsey Graham. He's got to invite, Ron DeSantis. Like, he's got to invite everybody to prop him up. It's like, look, brother, you're in a competition. You're in a race. Stand on your own 2 feet, and that's what I'm doing. I'm standing on my own 2 feet. I will be the mouthpiece. I will be the face with in front of all of my supporters, and that's all I want people to know, because I've disagreed with Biden.
He was feeling so good about himself. He said, "Look, brother, what is that? That's gross." That's Tim Ryan, who is looking to retain his Senate seat in Ohio. Ryan, is Tim Ryan gonna win this election?
No, not anything to do with that. But
I think just because of this,
no,
brother.
He was not boding well in Ohio. Ohio has moved so far to the right. They're a red state now. They used to be a swing state. They're mainly a red state at this point. So no,
Brad.
I don't think he's going to retain it.
Isn't it weird? The brother part of that is really weird to me.
I hate
it's
that.
Got
that's
some,
weird.
Tim Ryan's not a drop the ER, replace it with an A kind of guy.
That's what I would do if I were a politician, though.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh, boy.
Sister. See, it just comes out. I didn't even think about it.
So natural.
Mm-hmm. That's just who I am.
It's weird.
It's us Ryans.
What about Tim Ryan's answer? This to me screams of being politically massaged. Tim Ryan, you're going to get asked about Joe Biden and why he's not president. Nobody is inviting Joe Biden anywhere.
Right.
And Joe Biden, I don't know that he's like aware of how much he's not being invited. And he's like, but I think I'm going to run for, like, nobody in your party is inviting you along to get themselves reelected or elected into office. Let's not even talk about 2024. Is the simple fact that the guy running the whole show is at an arm's length and that Tim Ryan's staff has worked over that answer? Because honestly, politically speaking, it is a good answer to say, I don't need the president to come here because I'm the face of my own campaign. I'm going to do this on my own. And his counterpoint to J.D. Vance, his Republican opponent in this race, J.D. Vance has Trump coming to show up for him. Ron DeSantis is out here stumping for him. That's only a negative to people who are already considering, who would already be voting Democrat and are just deciding whether to show up or not. Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis showing up for J.D. Vance is a benefit to J.D. Vance, which means it's a detriment to Tim Ryan. Who could show up for Tim Ryan to move the needle for him? I don't even know who that person would be.
Barack Obama.
I was just going to say Obama.
Maybe.
Obama move it.
The real president.
Uh-huh.
I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Goodness gracious. Yes, it's absolutely ridiculous to be serious about that.
Can you put down your fudge round?
Can you hear my crinkling?
Yes. Let's see.
It's there, though. I have to crinkle that fudge round.
Karen is right. Yeah. Lemon blueberry. What do you think, Brad, when you're thinking about Tim Ryan saying, I don't need all these people, like everybody who you have him listing off to show up for J.D. Vance on the Republican side, I'm going, I'd like to see that person. I'd go to see that. Mm-hmm. Who is, other than Barack Obama, is there anybody who can show up and be like, yeah, Tim Ryan's your guy?
He says, I don't need these people because all the people that he would have to bring would be anchors. They'd hook to him and drag him straight to the bottom because, things aren't going well with the Biden administration. They're not going well with Kamala. They're not going well with Mayor Pete. They're not going well with any of these people that are supposed to be the people, and then you look at Ohio and you say, oh, Ohio, the Rust Belt, manufacturing, Bernie Sanders, not a chance. You know what I'm saying? There's just nobody there for him. He doesn't have anybody. So it's not that he doesn't want somebody to support him. He just doesn't have anybody.
Yeah, but who? Yeah, Hillary Clinton shows up, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer.
No chance.
I'm going to go out to the big Pelosi rally.
Can you imagine Gavin Newsom?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Let me tell you how bad it's going for Tim Ryan in Ohio. You know who Peter Thiel is?
No.
Big time Republican donor. He's a Silicon Valley guy, very, very wealthy. He supported Trump quite a bit in 2016. People kind of raised eyebrows because that's not usually a Silicon Valley thing, right? So he's got a lot of money, still invests in a lot of politics. He had been supporting J.D. Vance. Mm-hmm. He is pulling all of his money out of J.D. Vance because he's so confident that race is already won and putting it into Blake Masters in Arizona.
Wow.
So that's Tim Ryan's in trouble.
Can we talk about the really important stuff?
Sure.
Kenny just says on YouTube, I just noticed something. All the women have blonde hair in here.
That's a requirement.
And then the Art of Righteous Indignation is a guy who comments and pretty much dissents with us most times. And he's fervent, but not disrespectful. So, hi, we call him Art. He says it's a Fox News thing.
I was just going to say, we have the Fox News standards.
Is it still the case, though? I don't think that's still the case.
I don't think so.
No. Does it bother you at all? Hannah, I'll start with you. Is your hair really blonde?
It is.
It is, yeah. Because you've always been blonde as far as I know you. Your hair's blonde.
Yeah, I mean, I get it done to be blonder, but
you're blonde.
Yeah, I'm like a dirty blonde naturally.
Yeah. This is my natural hair color, and I am actually flattered that you would call it blonde and not gray. Would you say my hair's blonde?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you get up closer, you can see the gray, but
I would say it's like a dirty gray.
Shut up. Let's talk about your hair, Ryan.
Go ahead. As if I've never heard this. Just bring the list. Go ahead. I won't even say anything. Enjoy the next 5 minutes.
There's really nothing to talk about.
Oh, and here's a new one. Everybody's having a good time. Ryan's back in the studio. Let's talk about his hair. let's talk about how lack of hair he has. How much? So stupid.
Fact. I'm just wondering if, like, when I read that, I'm thinking to myself, I don't like being reduced to the idea that I'm sitting here because someone was like, well, she's got blonde hair. Maybe we'll put her behind a microphone. Like, that was the qualification.
And no, that's an absolute ridiculous thing to.
Because I'm not.
That's a ridiculous assertion.
I would, if that were, because people will come on here, tweet at me. I've gotten reamed out on Twitter before for being another Fox News blonde. And I'm like, A, will someone please suggest this to Fox News? B,
hey, Fox, it's Annie.
I'm not a Fox News person. I'm an Odyssey person. I don't work for Fox News. We're a Fox News radio affiliate station. If Fox News knows that I exist, that would be awesome. But I don't like the reduction because it's suggesting that my hair color has a reason, something to do with why I'm here doing what I do. That is the exact same thing as what the president of the United States predetermined would be a qualification for the vice presidency of the United States. How reductive is that to suggest I need a woman of color? Let me have the most qualified woman of color. I don't want to be the most qualified blonde who pretends to be a conservative and can string a sentence together as a qualification for me to be here. It's trivial. They don't mean it. I don't really think that they're like trying to hurt my feelings when they say this, but it's just something that it pops up on a regular basis. It is a small version of a very large reality that we have right now. One of the worst vice presidents in the history of this country in Kamala Harris. Joe Biden said, I need a woman of color. And Kamala Harris was the one he picked. Like, if you're Kamala Harris, how do you have self-respect to think I am the best person for this job? Because the first thing that was stated is you were the best woman of color for this job. And I think that that's reductive. And I can think of a lot of women of color, Winsome Sears, man, in Virginia, who, if you don't know her name, point made. If you don't know who Winsome Sears is, that's my whole point. Because she is a black woman who is in a high position in Virginia, and she has not been promoted and spotlighted the way as a qualification to be the vice president of the United States on the ticket. That was the main thing that led into Kamala Harris getting that nomination. I mean, Ryan, I'll let you comment on this because I think it's interesting to get a non-female perspective. You're a middle-aged white dude.
I was in all the meetings talking through your contract, and what I said was, I don't know, Annie is the most qualified blonde who pretends to be a conservative and can string a sentence together.
Yeah, she's kind of gray.
Let's just keep her there. Yeah, and they corrected me. They said, no, she's kind of gray.
That was the diversity.
He did go to bat for you, though.
That's how they diversified me.
I sure did.
The thought of you being in the conversations regarding my contract is horrifying.
Mm-hmm. I was not invited. I can tell you that.
You were there.
There was a room, and I walked into it.
Asked to leave.
Yeah, that's fine. I've said my piece.
Well,
okay, who was that guy?
You're a white dude, and you're persona non grata right now in the world, in the United States specifically, in the political climate. Everything that is being done right now is set up to be against the white male. Do you like, what is your thought when you hear somebody say, these are all blondes, oh, it's that Fox News thing, and you know where Fox News isn't in this picture and how we aren't actually Fox News connected. It's the affiliate of the station, but we're not connected by them. And how it fits in the larger picture of we see things, we identify major assumptions based on what we view first, and then we just make the judgments from there.
I think just like anything else, people get tired of the double standards. People get tired of, that you can say certain things about certain people groups and you can't say them about others. And it's not just white guys, but it's a lot of things are like that. And that's a good example of one that, you can bring up a race of people if they're white and say, well, they all act like this. You really can't do that about any other race. And there's so many of those things. And I think that's what drives people crazy is that really a lot of those things, if they're made in jest especially, I don't care. I really don't. It's that It's that there is no clear standard for those things. And the people in power seem to be okay with that because they can do it in jest and it's okay, but then they can also do it not in jest. And that's where you go, I got an issue here, though. And they don't care. They don't really care about making an even playing field. They actually want to unlevel the playing field.
Yeah, that's the difference between equity and equality. And
that's exactly right.
Big difference and a big key word right now. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to go around the room and talk about the YouTube live chat poll and our personal experiences. How hard did you go on your 21st birthday or your 18th, if that was your legal drinking age? As we recognize Hannah's 21st, that was Sunday. Your 4 options are on the YouTube live chat poll: 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or 5. You let us know how hard you went and leave comments. And we'll talk about the other big thing that we're celebrating here in studio when we come back. Another huge milestone with some people here on the show. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show. If you're a fan of 97.1, get a t-shirt. Visit 971talk.com/merch to see all the new t-shirt designs and show your support for St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
Hairsaloon.com, the website where you can visit and make your appointment right now for a fantastic haircut. My husband went and got his haircut yesterday. Didn't even know he was going to do that. Didn't know he had those intentions. And I came home and I'm like, did you get your hair cut? And he's like, yeah. I go, you look great. Did his beard, did the hair, everything. He goes there. They know exactly how to treat him, exactly how to cut his hair, and they do a fantastic job every single time. Enjoy a complimentary beverage while you sit back and relax and enjoy the experience of a perfect haircut each and every time. A relaxing shampoo, and you get a hot towel, a mint, and a complimentary shoe shine when you visit the Hair Saloon. For generations, barbershop served as a Saturday morning hangout for fathers and sons. The Hair Saloon is bringing that back and making sure that men get treated the way that they should be treated. 16 St. Louis area locations on both sides of the river in Missouri and in Illinois, and easy to make your appointment when you go online. Just check out the locations, find the appointment available nearest you, and book it. Hairsaloon.com.
Hey guys, Mike Valeni for Cash the Ticket podcast. If you like sports betting or if you just like sports, it's the podcast for you. We try to cover all the big games and maybe some of the games you didn't even know were important, give you some angles, pick some winners, have a good time, and hopefully help you meander through college and pro football season. So join us a couple times a week to get all your information you need to bet the games that you watch. It's Cash the Ticket on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Our national debt is now over $30 trillion, an increase of over 20% in just the past 2 years. I'm sure you've been told at some point that taxes will be lower when you retire, but do you truly believe that? Now is the time to begin planning for the future of tax increases. Is your financial advisor helping you with tax planning for a tax-efficient future? If not, this is the time to call me, Ken Heisey, at Heisey Advisory Group, 314-328-6000. If you're like most people, you have a portfolio of investments, but a portfolio is not a plan. How have you planned for the potential legislative risk of increased taxes? Call Heisey Advisory Group now and let us help you create a plan to reduce the tax risk in your retirement. 314-328-6000. Again, that's 314-328-6000.
Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through A Wealth Management, LLC.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is without any inspections or need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-782-8000 or at chrisbuyshomeSt.Louis.com and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay their rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. And check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And get the offer you have been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com or call 314-782-8000.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. As autumn temperatures get cooler, here are some simple things you can do to help out the environment. Remove any window air conditioners. Check windows and door seals for proper insulation to keep heat in and cold air out. And check your furnace, making sure it's clean, and replace the air filter with a new one to keep it running at peak efficiency all winter long. Join Odyssey, and together each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Where it began, I can't begin to knowing, but then I know it's growing strong.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Is there a better drunk song than this?
Brown Eyed Girl's pretty good.
Oh, that's good. But this one.
No, this is it.
This is where you lock eyes with that person in the room and then you start singing to them.
I hate to bring it back to race too, but drunk white people in a bar love this song.
Do.
At the top of their lungs, you know every word.
And Boston.
Oh, Boston.
The Red Sox. Nobody in here
I was
knows.
thinking Germany. Don't stop believing.
And then you go, ba, 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 and you get in there, and you're like kind of listing to one side, and then you move to the other. This is exactly right. This is more of what happened on Sunday at Hannah's birthday party.
Did they play this?
I don't remember.
That's a 5.
All right, so we're going to talk about our YouTube live chat poll, and while we do that, we've got some treats here to celebrate Hannah's birthday, and we did this, I don't know, it was months ago. Wasn't it like maybe a year ago? Was it around Halloween?
Yes.
Oh, the original?
Mm-hmm.
I was here.
Probably.
When we did the Kraft mac and cheese?
Mhm.
Yep. Van Leeuwen's ice cream, they are a fantastic ice cream product, but they do all the really weird flavors. So they did Kraft mac and cheese. We tasted it, and it did not taste bad. It tasted like Kraft mac and cheese, but like one bite to taste it and experience it was all you needed. Is that a fair assessment?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like if you were,
Yes.
and it's a kind of a fun like party thing. If you were to buy a pint of it and you had people over to taste it.
The pizza one was the same way. You eat one bite and you're done.
Yeah.
But there was a lavender one that was
bite,
pretty good.
Everybody knows the rules.
The Earth one tasted like matcha.
Yeah, it had matcha in it. Do you know what that is? One bite, everybody knows the rules.
No.
Okay. Anyway,
really?
That in Boston.
Can you tell us?
No, it's a secret.
If you know, you know.
The
But
rest
everybody
of-
knows the
The
rules.
rest of the Civil War.
So
Yeah, that's the rules.
Well,
One
somebody
bite.
please send
this sounds like Fight Club.
Send this to Dave Portnoy because he will realize that he hasn't touched everybody yet. There's still one left. It's Ryan Wiggins.
Okay.
It would be.
Nothing.
One bite, everyone knows the rules?
No.
Okay.
The pizza
It's not-
tasting?
Doesn't ring a bell or anything.
I don't know it either, but it's more fun to like
Yeah.
hang out
Thanks,
there.
Trisha.
I have in my hand the cap to Van Leeuwen's, I hope I'm saying that right, Grey Poupon ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of which, I'm going to hold this up. Doesn't that look like a piece of corn in it?
What are you holding up there?
Look at that.
That
Doesn't
was
it?
ice cream.
That's not ice cream.
Gross.
Oh, that's why.
So, Ryan, will you do the honors?
Absolutely.
There's
ASMR.
I was going to say, there's nothing I want to do less is to listen to Ryan eat ice cream on the air. What's your assessment? Is this going to make us vomit? Is it good? Wait, first question. Do you like Grey Poupon mustard or mustard at all?
Oh, Annie. I am a sucker for a good mustard. If I go to some sort of boutique anywhere and they have mustards, ooh, garlic mustard. Ooh, they have a mushroom mustard.
What about ice cream
I'm gonna
mustard?
get one of each because
Mustard
I'll
ice
eat
cream.
those for sure. And then a year later, they're still in the fridge, probably unopened. This ice cream is terrible. And I like Grey Poupon. I like really, I'm a man of many mustards.
Is that pretzels? That's pretzel, isn't it? Does it say it's pretzel?
Yeah, it's pretzels.
All right. Brad, did you try it?
I haven't yet.
You guys need to try this. Okay. I will try it, but I'm going to try it last. In case everybody was like, Annie, you shouldn't do this.
Wow.
No?
It's not good. It's not
That
good.
is cold Grey Poupon.
Mm-hmm. I just poured a little cream in there.
I kind of like it.
cold.
You kind of like it?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going in. You guys have to talk while I do this so people can't hear
Do
me.
you like Grey Poupon, Hannah?
I've never tried it,
Really?
but apparently I like it.
You know when it's great is when you're in your car eating a sandwich and you need a mustard and somebody pulls up next to you in a Rolls Royce. That's the best.
I bet she doesn't know what you're talking about.
I know. Kind of why I'm doing it.
Do you know what he's talking about?
What?
Do you know what a Rolls Royce is?
Yes, I do know what a
car
Rolls.
is?
I don't know the story you're talking about.
Do you have any
Okay.
Grey Poupon?
No.
Stings.
Fantastic. Yeah. Finish this
Definitely
sentence.
not.
More games, more toys. Oh boy, I want to be a Toys R Us kid.
Toys R
Never
Us
mind.
kid.
Okay.
Oh, nope. Don't know.
Okay.
YouTube live chat poll: how hard did you go on your 18th/21st birthday? What I'm gonna vomit from eating that. Man, I need to like.
bad.
It's not good.
On your birthday of legal drinking age, how hard did you go? 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or 5? We've determined that Hannah is somewhere between 3 and 5, but she said she would vote 3 to 4. Mm-hmm. Ryan, let's talk about your 21st birthday,
It was a 0.
which took place in what year?
What would that have been?
2004?
1842.
1842.
2001? Yeah, 2001 or 2. I have to do the math. It was right around there because I remember it was after 9/11. So it had to be 2 because it was far enough after.
No,
9/11.
you were
Wait.
you were a freshman in college. Let's do the math part later. Remember, you graduated high school in 2000, right?
No, 99.
99?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're much older.
Oh, now it's now it's not just Ryan doing the math.
You turned 21 and enjoyed a beverage?
I did not. On my 21st birthday, I don't think I had anything to drink. I never was a big drinker, even in college. There was probably
Were you a short drinker?
I was a small drinker.
Tiny
I was
drinker.
a little guy. And they're like, you want to drink? I'm like, I don't know, that's a big drink. I can't even hold it.
My hands are so small.
That's like somehow bigoted towards small people.
No, not little people. I was just a small guy. And I would run around real fast. I'd kick
I don't
people.
want this to be how my career ends. Yeah. It's going to be hard to explain in the next job interview.
How'd you get fired?
Well, we were eating mustard ice cream.
My co-host talked about running around like a leprechaun.
Stop
kicking
it!
people in the ankles.
Okay. So you turned 21.
So I turned 21. I think I went out to eat at Applebee's with a friend of mine
Classic.
and didn't
2 for
have a
20.
drink. And that was it. That was my 21st birthday. I'd never really been a huge drinker. And just for instance, I just went to Helen, Georgia to the biggest Oktoberfest in the country, apparently. I'm wearing the shirt. And see,
It's got
fake
suspenders on
fake
it.
suspenders on if you want to see it. I'm holding my shirt open like.
Stop it.
Whoa.
And I had one beer the whole time I was there. Had a ton of Jello shots, so that was fun because I like.
That counts.
is
Did they have-
drinking.
that counts.
Did they have
What?
alcohol in it?
Yeah, they did.
He's like, that's not
Let's
drinking. That's
not
chewing.
for a second pretend that
It's
Ryan
beer.
doesn't bring his non-alcoholic Jello shots with him.
Fair point. True.
That is totally in the realm of possibility.
In an ice
Walks
cube
around with
tray.
a Jello mold.
Yeah.
Munching all day.
the whole jiggler thing. I'm just
Here to
eating it
party.
like it's a Jello cake. Oh, this has alcohol. Trust me. Wink. But anyway, I didn't really care, and so I went out with a friend of mine who I'm still friends with, and we just had dinner.
But
And
you
joked,
didn't even order a
We
drink?
joked about the fact that I don't even drink. So I almost. This is apropos for me. I almost didn't drink on purpose because it was my 21st birthday party.
Spot on, which
Yeah.
is the same guy who's walking around in Oktoberfest eating or
Right now.
drinking or whatever non-alcoholic Jello shots. Okay, all right. You should have the birthday coat on right now.
Yeah.
If you were celebrating correctly.
It's not my birthday. I don't want to take away from Hannah. You know how I
Well,
am.
we got you treats and everything, but I
Thank you.
digress. As we're talking about these our 21st birthday stories, we also have some Van Leeuwen's sweet potato marshmallow casserole, which I have tried already, and boy, did we do this in the correct order. Have you guys tried it?
Not yet.
Try it because
It's good.
I would eat a serving of all of the ice creams we've had so far. Sweet potato marshmallow casserole is yummy. There's a little cinnamon to it.
Wasn't there a buttered popcorn one or something like that? That one was pretty good. There was one I remember.
I like
that
the
was better
sweet
than the
potato.
others. The sweet potato is good.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is really good.
This actually
it
is
tastes different and it is
tasty.
unique and good.
Yeah, like I would have a little serving of this. Did you try it?
Yeah.
Everybody in here likes sweet potatoes?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That's how I am. Like, they're all right.
They like marshmallows
Like
and
more
casserole?
of a candied yam guy, but yeah.
Anyway, Brad, so on a scale of 0 to 5,
0.
You're a 0.
Yeah.
Brad?
So I'm going to say that I don't remember my 21st birthday.
That was a good one.
That could either be a 5 or a 0. And I'm going to call you guys. I'm going to just let you know. It's a 0 because I don't drink at all. So
You never drank?
Never did.
Wow.
Never got started on it. I'm glad that I never did. There's a lot of issues that I don't have because I didn't get started. But I probably went out with my friends to like a restaurant. Couldn't tell you which restaurant it was, and then we would go back to one of our houses and have a LAN party because we were nerds and like to play video games. So if you don't know what a LAN party is, that's where you hook all of your gaming devices up together and make a local network. That's what LAN stands for, local area network. And we would just play like Halo against one another on Xboxes.
Which is what non-drinkers play on their 21st birthday.
Well, that's what these
Halo.
Right. Instead,
Do you understand that joke? Or you want to explain it to you?
No, I was going to move on to my own joke, but you can explain that one.
No, you can explain.
I want to hear
explain
Ryan's
yours
joke
after
now.
you're done.
So I was going to joke that at least it was Halo and not World of Warcraft, and then use some voice like, hello, my liege. I'm going to serve you now. Are we going to be knights or are we going to be orcs?
It's going to be chocolate milk.
Are you having a drink? Is it a beverage from a stein?
It's a root beer. From a keg.
I'm unfamiliar with this. Is this from the future? Are you a prognosticator?
We're idiots.
Because I'm locked into character here, and apparently some people are breaking character, and we talked ahead about not doing this. So we cannot reference things outside of the 1400s, as you recall. So,
you remember the 1400s?
Well, yeah. So in retrospect, that was the joke I was going to make, but I didn't.
I don't get it.
So I was wondering maybe if you could explain your joke about Halo.
No, I can't.
Okay.
I can't explain it. That was good ice cream. Do not get the Grey Poupon.
No.
Get the sweet potato marshmallow casserole.
Yes, that is yummy.
Anybody
Are
want
we
some
5?
more?
Are we? No, not
I'm
right now.
good.
Are we 5 for 5? Thumbs
Yeah,
up on
we're
that?
5 for fighting.
Are we 5 for 5 thumbs down on the Grey Poupon?
Yes.
Wait,
Yes.
no. Are you're a thumbs down?
I said it wasn't making me gag.
Like 14 drinks.
Well, that's an endorsement.
On some of these ice creams, there certainly is. Okay, so we've got a 0 from you, Ryan. A 0 from you, Brad. Trisha, talk to us about you're 31?
33. I'll be
33?
34 in November.
Okay. Yeah, you're getting up there, man.
Yeah, I know. Time goes.
You're in your 30s.
I'm solidly in my
Mid-30s.
30s. Mm-hmm.
Just like Annie and me.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably a high 4 on my 21st birthday. I did Westport and the Trainwreck Saloon, and I remember most of it. And that's it. Yeah. And then I drank heavily for 12 years, and now I quit.
Well, do you remember your first drink that you bought legally?
Legally.
Is different. Yes, it was at Hot Shots at midnight. I had gotten off work and went to Hot Shots, and it was like right on the edge of midnight, and they didn't even card me. I just walked in and bought a beer.
It was just a beer? Do you remember your first shot?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I started legally or not legally?
Legally.
We only drink legally here.
Yeah,
There's no drinking before you're 21 because that's wrong.
Okay, my first shot would have probably been about 12:05 on the night of my birthday at Hot Shots, and I have no idea what it was.
12:05 p.m.?
No.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We want to know your stories. We'll get to some of those on the other side of this break. How hard did you go on your 21st birthday, 18th, if that was your legal drinking age? 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or 5. Give us a comment and tell us why you picked what you did and what year you turned legally drinking age. And I will tell you what my story is when we come back. What do you think I am? You guys think I'm a 0? You think I'm a 5 or somewhere in between? Any thoughts?
4.5.
You're somewhere in between. So,
Yep.
Hannah?
I say you and I have the same rating.
Huh?
Nah, I think you're like a, what was it? Not 1 to 2. I think you're 1 to 2.
Well, maybe I'll tell you my story when we come back, and then you guys can tell me what my rating is.
Okay.
How's that? Stick around. We'll be right back, sweet Caroline.
Touching you, sweet Caroline. Good times never seem so good.
The Mark Reardon Show. In Missouri, the most popular Halloween candy is Milky Way.
Well, I'm arguing that.
Awesome.
There's no payoff in a Milky Way. There's nothing there. They are my least favorite.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
My son Finn was born with congenital heart disease and spent the first 8 months of his life in the hospital. Starlight Children's Foundation has played an important role in our lives. For 5 weeks as a baby, Finn lived in a Starlight Hero wagon instead of having to sleep in a hospital bed. Starlight provides moments of joy for families like mine at a time where there's very little to be found. Learn more about how Starlight brightens the lives of sick kids by visiting starlight.org today.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalized this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is saving. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I'm so excited to be talking to you about Gateway ENT. Now, you know our friend Doc Hardiman, who has been on our show throughout all of COVID, but this is his practice, his ENT practice, and the doctors, all of them, not just Dr. Hardiman, all of the staff at Gateway ENT, these are destination area people. So much so that when I need a doctor, I want, in any instance, I want the doctor that I go to operate the way Gateway ENT does. Why? Because you, as the patient, are at the epicenter of the care that you're going to get at Gateway ENT. Well, what do I mean by that? A lot of times, depending on networks that different doctors work in, they are required to refer to one place or the other, and those referrals are not always what's financially best for you. Gateway ENT puts your care at the epicenter of their decisions, of their recommendations, and from babies all the way up to people as old as Ryan Wiggins, they are helping people. Knock it off. This is my first time talking about Gateway ENT. You can't make those noises. You can't do that right now. You got to knock it off. No. I'm telling you, people of all ages go to Gateway ENT for their ENT care. I trust them. I trust all of the doctors there. And I hope that if you have an ENT issue in your near future, that you consider the patient-centered care you'll get at Gateway ENT. 314-843-3828. 314-843-3828. You can find them online at gatewaydoctors.com. That's gatewaydrs.com.
This month's Zero Res special. The more you clean, the more you save. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129 or 5 rooms starting at $199. A 43% savings. Take $75 off any air duct cleaning package. Call 314-474-2020 or go to ZeroResSTL.com.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with Truehold. Truehold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want, and Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since Truehold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studios. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 53 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Up to the minute traffic reports, so you don't have to keep looking at your phone. Dependable traffic on 97.1 FM Talk. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show.
Make you wanna holler, holler.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Chug-a-look, chug-a-look. Grape wine in a mason jar.
Great choice for the music today, Hannah. We are recognizing Hannah's 21st birthday. It was on Sunday. Celebrating it here as we're all back together in studio. The YouTube live chat poll. How hard did you go on your 18th or 21st birthday, whichever was your legal drinking age? Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and vote. Tell your story. And I'm going to tell you my story of my 21st birthday here in a second. But before we do, a big announcement on the show. Ryan Wiggins, take it away.
I have decided to stay with the show.
Well, here's the big announcement. I am undecided. No, Trisha got married this weekend.
Yes.
Yay!
Duh, we already knew that.
Everybody here might not have. Mrs. Everding, congratulations.
How weird is that? Thank you.
Is it weird?
Yeah, it is. We went to the sandwich place afterwards. So after our wedding, we went and ate sandwiches and cake from a vending machine.
In Vegas.
But they wrote Trisha S on the packaging. And Eddie's like, look at this. I'm like,
That's crazy.
I mean, Trisha E.
Trisha
Sorry.
E. I was going to say.
Yeah.
Was it a mistake?
Wait a minute. No, they wrote Trisha E. It was weird.
So you had your family and your close friends. They all went out there with you. This wasn't an elopement, but you had been talking a long time because you've been engaged for quite a while. Like, oh, what am I going to do? How am I going to do all this? You were undecided. And
it's hard to plan a wedding.
Well, you did it through COVID. And so there were no weddings to plan.
I was actually kind of sad that I didn't have it planned before COVID, so I could switch it virtual and people would just send me gifts and I didn't have to feed them.
That's awesome. But you did. You tied the knot, and Eddie is wonderful, and we wanted to tell you congratulations, especially Ryan. He demanded that we talk about this at this point in the show.
Thank you, Ryan.
I got you this fudge round.
Wow.
Fudge round song. It's time for the fudge round
reluctantly
song.
gave me the fudge round that I bought him at the gas station an hour ago.
Unsure why.
Yeah, I still don't
now
know
he
why.
gets it.
But I do
It's
want
Hannah's birthday. It's your gift. Never mind.
We're going to bring it back down to real here and say good job on the wedding.
Thank you very much.
You're
welcome.
beautiful. I want to ask permission. Can we share a picture of
Sure.
you and Eddie on our social media so people can see you in your beautiful dress? So congratulations to Trisha. Trisha started at 97.1 as my intern in 2012.
Sounds right. Or 11. I think, 12's right.
I think 12. I went to SIU where Trisha was in a classroom, and I was there to speak. And was it Donald's class? I think it was writing for the media.
Donald?
Yeah. Dr. Donald? Was that his
Sure.
name? Yeah, I think so.
We
And
stayed in touch.
He would have me come speak to a class maybe once a semester, and Trisha happened to be in that class. And I would say, at our old station, we would hire interns, and I hired interns myself. And Trisha, I remember of all of the people in that class, and I mean, I went to SIU, and I did not pay attention in all my classes. I did pretty well, but I'm not judging the other people. But Trisha was leaning forward in her seat during my conversation with the class, and like, there's
It's
people
very
in the back
compelling.
who were sleeping.
You played it. Well, you played that Glover video, and Glover's like, "You're never gonna make it in radio."
And here you are.
I can do it.
Yes. That's hilarious. I bet I still have that video somewhere. But she applied for an internship. I quickly hired her because obviously she was going to be something great, and I wanted her to do that with us on 97.1, and she quickly became a producer, and you've been here 10 years.
Yeah, long time.
That's fantastic.
Side note about that, there was another guy in the class that applied for the internship and like scooped my internship. So I thought we were like friends. I'm grinding an axe here. I thought we were friends, and I took your business card, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool. I'm going to apply for this opportunity." And he like snuck in there and got it like right before me, so I had to like wait a month or something.
Really?
Yeah. He was the one that said his dog got him sick.
I know who. I'm not going to say his name on the air, but he called off, and he's like, "Man, I'm house sitting my friend's dog, and the dog got sick, and I think I got sick from the dog, and it's real bad." And I was like, stay home.
he's not here anymore.
No. Yeah,
So I'm glad this worked out. I appreciate the opportunity.
And we are so excited that you are part of the 97.1 family and have been for so long, in the Annie Frey Show family. And congratulations on your marriage. That's very exciting.
Thank you very much.
My 21st birthday story, I'll make it real quick. I turned 21 on a Monday, and 2005? No. Yes. I was born in 84, so 2005. And I don't do math. Ryan just shrugs his shoulders like, sure. We went to Krieger's. You remember Krieger's?
Grocery store.
No, that's Kroger's. And we don't have those.
Krieger's Irish Pub or something like that?
Krieger's in Edwardsville, and it was a Monday night, and I was not a drinker. I mean, I'm not going to say that I never had a beverage before I was 21, but I was not a drinker. I was the person who and most of my friends were at least a year older than me. So it was like the last person in the social group I hung out with to turn 21. And everybody was excited for Annie to turn 21 just because. Just like I've never smoked marijuana in my life. I've never partook anything.
You only do edibles, is what you're saying.
Weed, nothing.
Okay.
No. And when weed became legal in Illinois, everyone's like, Annie, let's get high together. I'm like, I just don't think I want to do it now because it's legal. I'm just not real. I'm a prude in that way, and I'm okay with it. I'm here to say that out loud. But when I turned 21, everybody wanted to get in on that. So we were sitting on the patio at Krieger's, and I sat there for, I think we were maybe there for 2.5, 3 hours. My mom and my sister showed up to buy me a shot. My then boyfriend's mom, now mother-in-law, showed up to buy me a shot. Friends showed up to buy me a shot. And I'm just sitting there. I didn't get up, I didn't move. And I think I had 13 drinks/shots, but more shots than anything else.
Mm.
And we had 4 Horsemen, the 3 Wise Men, tequila shots,
basically
names
every
of
biblical
shots,
drink.
Names of shots that I can't say on the air because it'd be inappropriate, and I don't want you to explain to your kids.
We had frankincense, we had myrrh given to us as a gift.
Straight rubbing alcohol. And I remember the whole thing. It wasn't as if I went out and did anything incredibly stupid, but I did throw up in the parking lot.
See, so we did have the same experience.
I love it. It's one of the most embarrassing things I've ever done.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I don't know that it makes it okay that I was there with my family.
It does.
Hannah was too.
Yeah.
You'd rather be there with your family instead of a group of people you're not really close with.
I don't like the feeling of overindulging. I still don't like the feeling of overindulging. I never have. I think it's okay to be cool with not having to drink on, if you're in that situation, it's A-okay. Like you guys are saying, you guys, Brad and Ryan, Brian, you guys are not heavy drinkers. You don't really drink much at all. Brad, you don't drink at all.
Zero.
Ryan,
Just
very
not really
casually,
beer.
socially,
Yeah.
at any time. Anytime. What's your favorite drink?
Bourbon?
Bourbon?
Yeah. Bourbon and Coke. What?
Are you telling the truth?
Wait, are you guys talking about? Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to say White Claw.
For sure, White Claw.
If your 21st birthday doesn't have a crazy story, that's absolutely fine. And drinking responsibly is always encouraged. And so I would probably put mine in the 3 to 4 range, especially for me. I don't think it would necessarily be a 3 to 4, like on the scale of what people expect. I didn't want to black out. I didn't even want to get sick. And I probably, if I would have stood up a couple times and realized that it was hitting me, I would not have drank that much. So that's mine. 3 to 4. Let's get to the poll.
All right. The YouTube poll is on a scale of 1 to 5. How hard did you drink on your 18th or 21st birthday, depending on your legal drinking age birthday? The options are 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, or 5. I think this is the closest poll we've ever had in history of the Annie Frey YouTube polls. Let's see. What's even the winner? 28% of the people said 5. 27% of the people said 1 to 2. 23% voted 3 to 4, and 22% said 0. That is the closest poll we've ever had.
Yeah, for sure. But 22%, 27%, 23%, 28%. That is quite something. You can go vote real quick. We got a couple minutes left before it'll be closed. You want to read some comments here?
Yep. John from YouTube says, relative to today's poll, I voted 5, only because I don't remember my 21st birthday, so I must have done enough right. Jennifer Harris from YouTube says, my 21st was on a Monday, so I didn't drink much.
Same. Well, no, I drank a lot.
Yeah, you just told the story.
One of my brothers took me bar hopping to a few neighborhood bars. One bar owner was surprised it was my 21st since I had been going there for 4 years.
Hey, congrats.
Hey, okay.
James from YouTube says, my 21st was in the early 70s and I was in the service. Just another day of overindulgence.
Well, James, thank you for your service.
Rob from YouTube says, moved back to Maine while I was 19 and they changed the age to 20. So I started again, moved back to Missouri, turned 21. And by that time, I didn't care.
Man, is that the right way to do it or the wrong way to do it? Is that why you moved?
Let's see here. Casey from YouTube says, man, I have to do math. I turned 21 in 2007. I celebrated with my older brother, 2 older cousins, and one of their girlfriends. My aunt told my cousins to never let anything happen to me. We have so many comments. I wish I could get to all of them. Sydney asked, Hannah, did you make it to 21 shots?
Oh my gosh, don't do that. That is a bad idea.
Absolutely not.
You know what? The key here is that, in my opinion, it's A-okay to have a drink. If you want to have a drink, have a drink. But the key thing is to make sure that you have people around you who care about you and that you're always smart and you never drive. And that if you want to have a drink, you just protect yourself and you do it in a smart, responsible way. Hannah, happy birthday.
Thank
Congratulations on turning 21. Now when we have get-togethers, you can have a cocktail with us.
Yes.
That's been weird. And congratulations on the wedding, Trisha.
Thank you.
Ryan, congratulations on still having a job.
Showing up today.
But we have to have a meeting after the show.
Oh, okay. Cool. Sounds fun.
Sounds fun. Bring your fudge round and all of your things. Mark Reardon Show coming up next.
Certapro painters have powers far beyond those